Hello there! Hello again, everyone, and welcome back. Sorry about being gone for a week, but as the thing says, and I said before, like I told you guys ahead of time, that I was going to be leaving for a week over in Japan, and I should have had, yeah, they are definitely being posted. I was going to say I posted a lot of videos and shorts and stuff ahead of time. I scheduled them. So there was always something on the channel. It just wasn't live streams or anything like that. Oh, also, the YouTube chat is not working on my computer, so I will be reading it from my phone, so do be patient. Hello there, Mr. Cannell. I know. I just got the... Oh, okay. But yes, I'm back. Welcome back, Mr. Cordell. Welcome back. But yes, we are going to be going over like what I did over in Japan, what I saw, if I have some stories about stuff and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and let me get all the pictures on here. Okay, so we are going to want to do a window capture. Yes. Pictures. Okay, and it is going to capture this. There we go. And yes, capture cursor. We should be good. So let me go ahead and make that go down one. Move down. And then make it larger. Ah, crap. I thought I had myself moved up. Order, move to the top. There we go. There we go. And this one should be stretch to screen, not fit to screen. That's better. Yeah, here we are. So yes, I'm going to try my best to go, like, say what I'm showing and then also, like, what day it was that we did it. I'm going to try my best to do that, or at least go in somewhat of an order. But the pictures themselves are not in order. Hey there, So Unique! After ages, I know it felt like so long. I wish I could have stayed in Japan longer, though. Um, but yes, anyways, first off, I should probably go over kind of how the trip went initially. So initially, even before I left for the airport, already there was a hang up, okay? Because there was a storm over in Atlanta, Georgia at the day I was supposed to leave. So they delayed our flight by one day. So I ended up having to go to Japan one less day than I was initially like planning, which sucked. So I did not end up getting to go to Osaka, Japan. So that was very sad, but it was just one day knocked off. I was on a trip last week, then you went on a trip the next week, so it's been 2 weeks. I know, but I hope you had a good trip. I know I did. So, anyways, before I even left for the trip, already one day down. But luckily the next day everything was fine. And I did mention to you guys that I had never flown before. And the plane ride for going over to Japan is pretty long from where I'm at. So I had to leave from Atlanta, Georgia to go to Haneda, Japan. And that was about a 14 to a 15-hour flight. It was like, I think it was like 14 and a half hours, something like that. So very long flight for my first flight. And it actually was not that bad. I'll be honest, after flying, I almost would rather fly than drive. Which I hate driving, so there was not much turbulence on our first flight. It was a long flight, a little bit cramped, but that's what you get for economy class. At least Godzilla didn't get you. We'll get to that. I did see Godzilla, but I did not die to him. Imagine going with a travel advisor and paying the advance amount only to find out you miss a day. Oh, that would have sucked. We didn't have a travel advisor. We just ended up finding it all out ourselves. We planned the itinerary, we ordered the tickets, got the hotel rooms, everything like that. So, I mean, we didn't have to pay extra, But then again, we spent a lot of time getting everything ready. So yes, plane ride was not bad. Actually, I should show the food I got first. Give me a second. So, how do we? Give me one sec. I will bring up a picture of the food I ate on the plane first. Like that technically was the first thing I ate when I was in Japan. If you already know what that is, it was a melon pan bread. But oh, maybe I didn't show you guys what it was. Oh, that's fine. It wasn't really much, okay? Like there was like a pizza calzone. I think we got some of those cookies they have on the Delta flights. That was about it, actually. There wasn't very much else. I had some rice, I know, that came with the meal. But yeah, it really was not much to go over. Not enough for me to actually show a picture of. I know I took pictures of it just because, but okay, let's go ahead and just bring back up that one picture there of the bread. Yeah, there we go. I thought I had it on here, but I don't. Where did what did you watch on the plane? Ooh, good question. Good question. Okay. So, first off, whenever before we even got on the plane, like months earlier, my friends told me that like you have to have noise canceling headphones when you fly. And at the time, I was like, I'll be fine. Noise canceling headphones really did save me on that trip because I was it's really loud on the plane. Like it's like a constant droning, okay? So I was very glad that I ended up getting some noise canceling headphones. But what I did end up doing while I was on the plane is I ended up before I left, I downloaded all the Marvel movies up to Phase 3, and then I also downloaded all the Pokemon movies up to Pokemon I think it was the Zoroark movie. So I downloaded all the Pokemon movies up to that. And then I also downloaded some music. And then I also downloaded the complete Harry Potter series. So I had plenty of stuff to do on the plane ride. It was not going to be a problem. But what I did end up doing on the plane was I watched the Pokemon movies. I thought about watching the Marvel movies. I had that in my head that I was going to watch those. But then I sat there, I'm like, wait a second. I'm going over to Japan, okay? I should watch something that at least is from there or something like that. So like I even had Spirited Away, I had Ponyo, I had stuff like that I could also watch, but I'm like, you know what? We're going to watch Pokemon movies. So I did not actually end up getting to watch all the Pokemon movies. I watched all of them up to The Rise of Darkrai. So I got through, let me see. That's one, two, I don't know how many that is off the top of my head. But I ended up watching up to The Rise of Darkrai. And then also talked with some of my friends on the plane ride. I took some naps, of course. Had to take some breaks to eat and whatnot. So, I mean, there was plenty of stuff to do, and I did sleep for a good couple hours on the flight. So, I mean, I had plenty of stuff to do. Japanese word for oh, never doubt between Marvel and Pokemon. Okay, that's my thing. Okay, I'm like, for a second I thought so, but then I'm like, you know what? I want to have like a nice feel-good movie, and I'm like, Marvel movies are good. Don't get me wrong. Okay, I was initially going to because it's been a while since I've watched them, but I'm like, you know what? I want to watch Pokemon. So yeah, that's what I ended up watching on the plane ride. Really, not very much turbulence on the plane ride. It was very good. It was a very good first plane ride. The only thing that kind of got me was whenever we first initially left, we were going the opposite direction, so you had to take a turn. Like the plane had to kind of make a slight turn, and whenever they kind of did that, my stomach kind of started to quease a little bit. But other than that, it was fine. So, like I said, we had about 14, 15-hour plane ride, and we landed in Harada, Japan. And it was fine. I mean, it. I had never flown before, so I didn't really know what airports looked like or anything like that. But really, there was enough maps and signs and like yeah, I guess signs. And there was also stuff wrote on the floor, okay? Like So there was plenty of stuff that I could see. There was plenty of arrows showing where to go. And even though I don't really know very much Japanese at all, everyone there either knew a little bit of English or they knew like kind of how to like point me in a direction. So I mean, it was all good. You went to Iran? I did not go to Iran. I did not fly over Iran either. We technically went the let me see. So the direction that we went, if you look like at my mouse, okay, my mouse cursor's not there. There, my mouse cursor. So if like let's say this melon pan right here is the Earth, okay? So right here, let's say right here was Atlanta, and then way over here would have been Japan. So we went diagonally over the globe. So we ended up going over Canada, Alaska, right next to Russia, and then went to Japan. If we're using the melon pan globe here. uh, but yes, anyways, got to the airport. Everything was fine. We ended up going on our first train ride, which was the Tokyo monorail. Dang, I'm talking about all this stuff and I don't really have pictures for them. I took a lot of pictures, okay? It's not just melon pan and orange drink here. But yes, we took the Tokyo monorail and we got on the Yamato line. I think it was the Yamato line. And then we took the Yamato line all the way to our hotel. But yes, our first day we really did not do much because my buddies were jet lagged. So I felt actually pretty fine. I could have done something the first day and I was planning on it, but I was still a little bit afraid of going out on my own. So I ended up staying in the hotel room and like kind of doing some planning. I was checking the times for some stuff, checking and see if we had to order tickets ahead of time. I went to 7-Eleven and I got my first meal here in Japan, which was this orange drink right here, which is kind of like an orange juice. I think it was like a blend of juices. You could probably like Google Translate that if you wanted to figure out what I actually drank. But then this was melon pan, okay? The melon pan bread is wonderful, okay? Really, really soft, pretty sugary, nice and fluffy. It was a nice, good meal. I actually had a couple melon pans while I was there. Now, for an actual meal, was not very filling. But I mean, just for like a nice snack, it was pretty good. And I was a little let down because from Melon Pan, you think the name, it did not taste like melon at all. So I was a little bit let down because of that. Every time I arrive in Tokyo, I go to the nearest Sister Mart. Sister Mart? I don't think I ever saw a Sister Mart. There's a Family Mart, and then there's Lawson's, and then there's 7-Eleven. Those are like the big three ones. I never saw a Sister Mart. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by too, Large Small World. Uh, yeah, yeah. How did the melon pan taste, by the way? I never had it. Like I said, it was sugary, kind of light and fluffy, and it did not taste like melon. So, did not taste like melon. I told one of my coworkers or whatever because she wanted me to send pictures of the 7-Eleven and she wanted to like to know what it looked like and like kind of experience it kind of through me. And I was like, "Oh, I had a melon pan and it did taste like melon." And she was like, "Oh, that's kind of let down." So yum, it was yum, okay? It really was yum. And I think this one I had right here was pretty fresh because it was still a little bit like it it wasn't like freshly cooked, but like it was still nice and soft. The next one I had was just a little bit almost maybe not stale, but it was like a little bit more dense, like it was a little bit harder. Is that a mango drink? I think it might have had mango in it, but it had like orange, probably mango, stuff like that. Like I said, you could probably like Google Translate to figure out. It was something orange like flavor esque, but it was really really good. Okay. So what's the next picture? We might end up just going through like what I went to. Oh yes, okay, yes. So since our first day of flight and stuff like that, we are kind of tired, jet lag, stuff like that. We didn't do anything. But the next day, we ended up going to Ikebukuro, And Ikebukuro has the Mega Pokemon Center, okay? And the Pokemon Centers over in Japan are the Pokemon stores, okay? They sell all your Pokemon merchandise you could ever want. Plushies, keychains, Pokemon cards, card holders, and since the new Pokemon game is out, the one with Ditto that was like a kind of like a Animal Crossing esque one, there were tons and tons of stuff on it here. So this is the one that was in Ikebukuro, okay? It was inside a mall, and it was kind of cool because at the mall, that whole floor had a lot of different Pokemon themed stuff happening. So there's like a Pokemon cafe. There were these little things here that had all these different little Pokemons that you could take pictures next to. So we have all these starters here. Really, really cool. Anything but Puff. Oh, come on. Anyways, we had this. Did you buy something from here? Did I buy something from the Pokemon Center? This Pokemon Center, I ended up buying a keychain. Okay, I didn't really buy very much from this one because it was my first day and I knew I was going to be going to another Pokemon Center, okay? So I did not really buy anything from this one, but I did look around. So we have all these little statues of Pokemon. We have a substitute here. Not really a Pokemon, but still pretty cool. I really liked it. Got some birds here. Oh, you can see this here. If you look in the background there, Cinema Parade, it had a lot of different stuff there. Not really Pokemon stuff, but they had a little card thing here where you could play Pokemon cards and stuff like that, battle people. Oh, they had a Pokemon Go gym here, okay? This was the coolest Pokemon Go gym I've ever seen, okay? Because, like, most gyms are just, like, buildings or whatever. Like, you can find them on your game, but there's nothing really that says Pokemon Go. This was a literal gym, okay? Right here in the center here, it had, like, the rankings and stuff like that. It showed who was in the gym, the names of the characters, and everything like that. It was really, really cool. And this little picture right here, they have a little sign or whatever, and it said when they had events and stuff that go on here. So like they might have events there that are like battle events or something like that, and I'm guessing you could probably get something for doing them. And then of course we have all the different leaders of the groups. So the Valor leader, the Mystic leader, and then Spark. What was let me see. Valor, Mystic, and I forgot. I forgot the last one. And then the Pokemon Professor here. So this was really cool. Pokemon Go Lab. Hello there, Raziel Tony. Awesome. Yeah. All the Pokemon merch at the Pokemon Center are obviously all genuine, but all the merch outside Japan are licensed, not genuine. So I always buy something. I did buy something. Okay, we'll get to that. And if you're on the Discord, you can see what I bought. I have a little page that I have all the different pictures that I'm showing today on there. So if you are in the Discord and you want to go ahead and look ahead, you can go on there. It's I think it is Japan trip, maybe it's Japan trip 2026. I can't remember. But yes, this Pokemon Go lab was really really cool. I kind of wish I still played Pokemon Go because if so, I'd have probably tried my hand at getting the gym. But there we go. Yeah. So there's a close up of all of them. I don't know. The faces look kind of uncanny. I didn't really like the faces when I got so close. But yeah. Then they had some murals here on the outside. So we have our like our dragon types or whatever with like pseudo legendaries. Metagross isn't a dragon type, of course, but like they're like pseudo legendaries. Um, they had some gaming things that you could do around here. Oh yeah, here was the thing for the was it Poketopia or whatever? The new like Ditto Animal Crossing game. They had where you could try out the game here, which was really really cool. And they had like nice little signs. Um, but yes, had that. They had Silver's team, or wait, no, Red's team on Mount Silver. Yeah, that's what it was. So Red, trainer on Pokemon Mount Silver, and you can see in the background that they are on Mount Silver right here. So pretty cool. This is Shibuya Crossing. Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Cornell did ask, not Mr. Cornell. Sorry. So Meek did ask me if I had been to Shibuya Crossing, and I did. Okay. I didn't really take a ton of pictures because, okay, Shibuya Crossing is one of the places that got the most pictures whenever I was there, okay? Because, like, I didn't take a ton of pictures, but everyone else was, okay? So like whenever the like crossing started, like whenever it made it so like, oh, green, you can go cross, there were tons of people that ran across the street, like ran to the center of the street and were taking pictures of themselves without everyone around and stuff like that. I didn't take as many pictures. I just basically took this one and maybe a couple more. This is the best of them. But yeah, Shibuya Crossing. Um, did you play the games? I did not play the games at the Pokemon Center, okay? There were kids waiting in line, and I'm like, you know what? I don't need to play. I've got other places to be. I've got Shibuya to go to. So yeah. Best time to visit is Friday and Saturday night. It's at its busiest. Ooh, I don't want to go Friday and Saturday then if it's its busiest. This was on Monday. This was on Monday when we went, and it was still fairly busy. But yes, Shibuya Crossing here. Uh, like you said, Sukuna's fight from Jujutsu Kaisen. And right here at Shibuya Crossing, right at the first building I saw, they had a Hololive store here, okay? They had a little place that they had Hololive stuff. So you can see all the different girls here from Hololive. Right here, Kyla, probably my favorite out. Well, Bibu's good too. There's Bay. I don't know the Japanese ones as much, but I do know the English one. Like there's Pecora, there's Louis, that's Mori, Subaru, Kobo, Kiara, Risu. I know quite a few of them. But yes, they had a Hololive store there. So pretty cool. They had pictures of like all the girls on the walls and stuff like that. And then they had this big old one right here. Oh, let's see. Must have felt weird after watching Jujutsu Kaisen. A little. I knew that Shibuya Crossing was one of the big things that people like to go see and stuff like that, so I knew what to expect. Actually, while we were at Shibuya Crossing, one of my buddy's brothers was watching the live stream, and he actually caught us walking across the street at Shibuya Crossing. Because apparently there's a live stream of Shibuya Crossing going at all times. But yeah. A few more pictures of all the girls here. I see there's Narissa there. There's Ollie. That might be all the ones I can see. But yeah. Kyla. Kyla. But yeah, and then inside there, they had all the plushes, and like there were not really any plushes of any of the English girls, which was kind of sad at this one. There is a store later on that did have plushies of all the girls. There's one at Tokyo Station that we'll go over in a little while that had a lot more plushies. But this one had like they had the JP girls, they had the ID Indonesian girls. That might be it. Wait, that's Iris, isn't it? So I guess they might have had one English. They didn't have the one I wanted, okay? I wanted a Fauna plushie, and they did not have it. Ooh, and then underneath the Hololive store, they had a store that was Star Wars. And they did have a little bit of Marvel stuff there too, as you can see right there. But they had a Kylo Ren statue here. So I took a picture of that just to have, you know. And they had a lot of different Star Wars merch. Like they had like wallets. I think they had a chess set that was Star Wars themed, T-shirts, of course, just everything like that. Did you go to the station below where Gojo was sealed? Um, no, I don't think we did. That would have been the subway tunnel. We did not use the subway at all in Tokyo, so I did not go there. But yes. Anyways, we have Kylo Ren here, and then also we have Thor. So pretty cool, pretty cool. We went back up through the Hololive thing. They actually, okay, the Holo Fest was had just gotten over with, I think, by a couple days whenever we got there. So they had a live stream, or I guess a recording of the live stream of the Holo Fest playing here. And then they also had pictures of all the different fests. So this is HoloFest 3, HoloFest 4, HoloFest 2. I think that was the first HoloFest there. HoloFest 6 and 5. So they just had all these pictures here. And then they had light sticks here and like standees and everything like down here. So yeah, it was really cool. I was very very happy that I found a Hololive store right off the bat. I was just sad that it didn't have what I wanted. And it was insane that it was right there, right on the Shibuya crossing. Like it was the building right as you crossed. No Darth Vader statue? No, sadly. All they had was Kylo Ren and Thor. What is Hollow? Okay. So, uh I am a VTuber, okay? You know that by now. Hololive is another VTuber corporation. The corporation that runs Hololive is called Cover. So Hololive is another company of VTubers. It's actually the reason why I started VTubing. Like I watched Hololive and I saw all these different people having fun, playing video games, singing, dancing, whatnot. And I'm like, you know what? That looks pretty fun. So kind of thank Hololive for having me around. But yes, Hololive, very good. This was a like old-fashioned telephone booth that they had here at Shibuya. I just thought it was cool. My buddies, whenever they saw this, are like, "Oh, hey, Doctor Who's here," and I'm like, "That's not the same telephone booth," but it is cool. I also noticed in the background this R almost looks like it's a like a Team Rocket R, but it's not. It's not like a Pokemon building. There was a Disney store. We didn't actually go into that because we had other places to be. But it was kind of cool that it had like the castle aesthetic, Mickey Mouse looking door thing. So pretty cool. Oh, this here, okay? This was actually right outside the Shake Shack, okay? And when we like our first full meal that we had in Japan was at a Shake Shack. I know, sad. I go to Japan, I eat at a Shake Shack. Was not my first choice, but my buddies were hungry and it was there, so we ate at a Shake Shack. And right across from the Shake Shack from the window is this nightclub. Okay, this club that's called Jumanji 33 or whatever, and it has xenomorphs, the aliens from Alien, right on the front here. It was just so eye catching. Okay, like the gold, the Jumanji 33 red, and then the xenomorphs here. I had to take a picture of it. And I got to stare at this thing from the window as I was eating a Shake Shack burger. So that was pretty cool. Um, yeah, Doctor Who's phone booth is blue. You're correct, Mr. Coronel. Okay. Uh, this was inside the mall that had the Capcom store and stuff. Like we were trying to find our way to get to the top to get to the Capcom store. And wait, no, was it Capcom? It was definitely Capcom. It definitely was. And they had this statue here. This is the pot guy from Elden Ring. So I took a picture of that. Oh, okay. And further up in like the one floor. So I'll give a little bit of a rundown of what this mall was. So it was basically regular mall stuff and restaurants until you got to this floor, okay? This floor was everything I could ever want. This floor right here had a lot of stuff. It had the Nintendo store, okay? So we have the Link statue here. It also had the Godzilla store here of Shibuya. So there was this Godzilla statue, and it had tons of little Godzilla, like everything you could want, little statues, all the different like Mothra, Ghidorah, Mecha Godzilla, little toys and little figurines and keychains and all Godzilla stuff. Okay, and then they had this little Godzilla here. I forgot to ask, what did you think of Resident Evil 5? Without spoilers, of course. Resident Evil 5. Okay, my Resident Evil 5 thing was it is a lot better than people make it out being, okay? Whenever I first started playing Resident Evil 5, or before I even played, okay, when I started playing Resident Evil, I heard a lot of people saying that 5 and 6 were not good and you do not have to play them. I disagree, okay? I disagree a lot, okay? Resident Evil 5 is not the best Resident Evil game. It's not the worst Resident Evil game, okay? I feel like that goes to 0. 0 is pretty bad. 5 is probably right next to... it's probably right underneath the first Resident Evil for me because first Resident Evil is still a little old. Um, but 5 is still all right. I like 5. I would probably give it out of 5, probably a 2.5, maybe 3. You know, and 6 is pretty good. I like 6 because of all the multiple campaigns. But yeah, Resident Evil 5 is pretty good. Sorry, I meant 9. Oh, 9. Okay, sorry. 9 was good. I liked 9. The only thing I have to complain about is I feel like they should have separated Grace's campaign and then Leon's campaign because it felt weird switching between them because like you'd play as Grace for like a horror like section, and then it would switch to Leon where you're just punching and shooting everything and killing everything. I would have rather them made two separate campaigns, kind of like Resident Evil 6. Resident Evil 6 had multiple campaigns where like they kind of converged. So like you could play Leon's campaign and then you'd also meet up with Sherry and Jake and then also Chris and is it Pierre? Is that his name? I can't remember. And then also Ada. Like I think they should have separated the campaigns because it was a little weird going from a horror to an action, back to a horror, back to an action. So if they would have separated the campaigns, that would have been good, I feel like. But I really liked Leon's parts, and really Grace's parts were pretty scary actually. Like there were good parts where like I was actually like, "Oh, this is kind of terrifying," especially the first part, okay? When you're in the care facility before you get a flashlight, you're just using a lighter. It was pretty scary. So yeah, I mean, not my absolute favorite. It felt like it was a little short. I think Resident Evil Village was still better than it. I think, in my opinion, I liked it. But it was still a good game. It was solid, and they're talking about having a DLC come out, so I'm ready for the DLC. So where would you put Resident Evil 9 in a tier list of Resident Evil games? I would put Resident Evil 9. So my least favorite is 0, probably followed by Resident Evil 5, then 1, then 6, and then probably Resident Evil 7, followed by 2, 4. Well, ooh, wait, I forgot about Village. Village would probably be around the same as Resident Evil 2's remake. 4 remake would probably be my favorite. So 9 would probably go between Resident Evil Village. Uh, it'd probably be right below Resident Evil Village in that ranking. Because it's not quite as good as Village. And I liked Resident Evil 2 and 4's remake a lot better. So, I mean, it'd be within my top 5. It'd be within my top 5. So, yeah. Okay, anyways, back to this, because we will get to some Resident Evil stuff here, because on this floor was also the Capcom store. So yeah, so this is part of the Capcom store, okay? They had these little beans, and you can see that this is Wesker right here, a little Wesker bean. This is the Lictor. This is the dogs. That's the guy with the chainsaw with the bag over his head. I think I was in Resident Evil 4. This is Grace, I'm pretty sure. And this one is probably Ethan's daughter from Resident Evil 7 and Village. I think. Can't remember what her name is. Is it Ashley? I don't remember her name. But yeah, this is part of the Capcom store here. We have some Phoenix Wright stuff here. So we have Edgeworth. We have the girl from Investigations. I'm playing it right now, but I cannot remember her name for the life of me. We have Edgeworth and Phoenix here. Just a few other Phoenix Wright characters. This is Devil May Cry characters. So this is Dante. This is Nero, I think. Maybe. I feel like the coats may be different. But yeah, some Devil May Cry characters here. Some more Devil May Cry merch here. So kind of cool. There were some cups, some I think those are pins or something like that. A bag. So pretty cool stuff. I'm so happy I didn't spend 5,000 rupees on that game. I can't get that on sale. Oh, you can get it on sale later? Yeah, exactly. You can get it on sale later. But I mean, who knows what the DLC is going to be. The DLC could be great. Ooh, this section here was a Resident Evil like merch section, okay? This was mostly because of Resident Evil Requiem coming out. So, like there was a spray right here. Let me see what this was actually. Recovery spray, hand sanitizer, perfume, stuff like that, I think. There were some pins here that had umbrella on it, some notepads, um, some more notepads, some Leon. This isn't really a keychain. I don't know what it would be considered. Bad. All that. Ooh, oh gosh. Okay, that's better. That's better. Um, had some, I think that's socks. It looks like. Some containers that you can keep stuff in, like electronics or something like that. Ooh, this right here. I actually thought about getting this. We can zoom in. This is a lunch, like a lunch box, a lunch case or whatever, and it's based kind of like the handgun ammunition from the game, and you can see it right there. It's a lunch case. I actually thought about getting this because I wanted something Resident Evil, but I did not get that. They had a Biohazard 30th anniversary T-shirt. Those contain like the baggy things, the socks. Yeah, so they had some cool stuff. Oh my gosh. Sorry, sorry. Just another picture of that stuff. Ooh, and then since it's Capcom, they have Monster Hunter. So they had this Rathalos picture here with one of the nice long swords and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool to see too. Did your pals know you're a VTuber? They do. They do. They don't watch. I've told them before, but they don't watch me. They only watch the really really big VTubers, okay? And then they also only watch girl VTubers too. So I mean, I'm not that. Love how Resident Evil is called Biohazard in Japan. Yeah, their loss. I know, right? Thank you. Oh, and then also the same floor, okay? The same floor that had Godzilla, the Nintendo store, the Capcom store, also had a Sonic store, which I'm not as big into Sonic, so I didn't really take a picture of that. They had a JoJo's World like shop here, okay? They had JoJo's. So JoJo's here, of course, has not all the JoJo's here because I do not see Joseph or Jonathan here. I think one of these might be Joseph and Jonathan from the new universe. But yeah, JoJo's World. They had a little plaque here with the stand arrow, and if you want to read this, uh, so stand arrow stands power manifests from shape and form yet invisible to the naked eye. The existence of these powers is only known to those who are chosen by the arrow and awaken the stand abilities. Oh, brave soul, touch the arrowhead and throw open the door to a bizarre world. That was the opening to the JoJo store. Did I get a stand by touching the arrow? No, I did not. Or I could. Who knows? You guys won't know. You guys don't have a stand. You can't tell. But yeah, they had these little bean plushies here too. They had like that was Jotaro there, Dio, the World, Iggy, Giorno Giovanna. They just like all these JoJo characters. They had the little beans for all of them. They're so cute. They're so cute. They had a stone mask thing right there. Yeah, plenty of stuff. They had these here. These were actually in a little capsule machine, okay? The little gacha machines. You could get the characters. You couldn't get the gold thrones, though. The only problem was the capsule machines did not work. I was sad. Okay, I got there. I saw the capsule machines. I got out my coins. I put them in the machine. and the machine spit them out. So I did not get any of these like JoJo's inside their golden thrones. Oh, they also had an Iggy cafe there. Okay, the dog from part 3, nice little Iggy, good boy. They had a cafe there. Ooh, and then also in the Capcom store, they had a little thing here for Biohazard Requiem, Resident Evil. So yeah, we got Leon, we got Grace and her flashlight and stuff like that. So pretty cool. Sadness is for other people. I can have sadness too. But yeah, there was that. I think that was most of the Capcom store. But they had the Resident Evil, they had the Phoenix Wright stuff, they had the Monster Hunter stuff. Yeah. Oh, also on the same floor. So Unique, you would like this, okay? They ended up having a jump shop here. I think I sent you a picture of this jump shop, okay? But it has Luffy there. And of course, you go inside and it had all the different One Piece stuff you could ever want. But yeah, pretty cool. I'm not super into One Piece, but anyone that did like One Piece would have loved it here. Like, absolutely loved. Okay. So we got that. On the same floor was also a Pokemon Center. This is Pokemon Center Shibuya. Since I had pictures of the other Pokemon Center, I wasn't super like needing pictures of everything else. But this was one of the things I wanted to see, okay? Like each Pokemon Center has its own little gimmick, okay? So the one in Ikebukuro had Mega Evolution as their gimmick, okay? So in the very front of the one at Ikebukuro, I did get a picture of it because there was a lot of people. But they had a Mega Stone that you could touch. And whenever you touched it, it would show a hologram of a Mega Evolution Pokemon, usually Charizard. But yeah, I would surely click a picture of with Luffy. Yeah. But yes, they had a Mewtwo here inside his little test tube chamber. So that was pretty cool. There's also one I know that the one in Tokyo Station had a Pikachu in a conductor's uniform. We'll go over that later. And then, if I go to Japan again, I have to go to the Sky Tower, okay? I have to go to that one because that one has a Rayquaza there. Rayquaza. I have to go see it, okay? But yeah, each of them have their own little gimmick. This one was Mewtwo in a test tube. This is probably the most well-known one. Yeah, so that is out of the mall there. Uh, that floor of that mall, we spent so much time there. Within the Godzilla store, the Nintendo store, the Pokemon Center, the JoJo store, the Capcom store, and then also the Sonic store. All on the same floor of the same mall. It was so packed there, okay? So packed, spent so much time there. It was a really great time there. That, like, really my first day, because my first day was going to that Pokemon Center in Ikebukuro. Oh, crap. I don't have the Bandai Namco pictures on here, I don't think. Ah, dang. Okay. Well, if I don't have them on here, if we go through all the stuff, I will talk about, like, the Bandai Namco one, because that was a pretty cool, too. That building was pretty cool. It was, like, on the same floor as the Ikebukuro Pokemon Center, the one with the Mega Evolutions. Did you buy any manga? No. I did not buy any manga. I did not actually go by a store that sold just manga. Like the One Piece store did have manga there for One Piece. There was a bookstore in the airport that had some manga. Let me think at what else. Yeah, I didn't go and buy any stores that sell manga because my friends aren't really into manga at all. And we had plenty of stuff to do. Like every day was cram packed full of stuff. And we'd already lost one day. So we couldn't go to Osaka. and I just gave up on wanting to go to like a manga cafe or a manga store. So yeah, no manga. I did buy figures though. We'll get to those too. I think they're near the end. Oh wait, I didn't talk about these pictures. Uh, I would buy at least one Naruto, One Piece manga in Japanese. Yeah, that would be cool. Actually, whenever I was at Haneda Airport, they have a Gintama store there and a Naruto store inside the airport. So I saw those as I was leaving. But anyways, back to the pictures here, okay? So, if you guys do not, I actually don't know who this is, okay? But this is Samako Saba, okay? If you are in the know, and I don't really want to like out them or something like that, but Saba here is a very well-known VTuber because she was initially part of another very big group that I like quite a bit, and she graduated from there and became her own indie. But yeah, she had a pop-up store in Shibuya. So I had these little cutouts here. I don't know who this one is exactly, but they had a little. Oh, okay, here. Ah, it's in Japanese. I thought I was going to be able to read it from there, but yes, Samako Saba and the other one. Um, but yeah, you can see right here. I think there were some standees, some fans. Right, actually, I can zoom in. They had some pictures. They actually had some. Ooh, what are those? Yeah. Yakuta. These. Whatever they're called. It's on the tip of my tongue. It starts with a Y. But yeah, they wear them around Japan. But they had one that was a Saba one. One of my buddies wanted one of those. So many VTuber thingies would be lost there. Oh, you would not believe how many VTuber things. You'd not believe. They had all that stuff there. They had some buttons and pictures and whatnot. Um, Next picture. You. This is just stuff that you could buy online. So they had these here. On my trip after 5 years, I would hope for an Unwise Dragon action figure. I don't know for sure when I could actually make an action figure. That would be way in the future. But yes, you can get little plushies of them. These are body pillows here. The little coat things, whatever they're called. But these were all you had to order online. There's a QR code there. So, I mean, if you actually absolutely wanted to, you could scan this QR code and order them online if you wanted them. So, I mean, I guess I'm helping you out there. But my buddy ended up buying one of these online. Um, so, yeah, outside of that store, outside of more VTuber things, um, let's see. Oh, yes, this is Hachiko. Okay, this is a very famous statue over there. There's a Hachiko Park that's right. Actually, it might be a part of Shibuya Crossing, or it's connected to it. I can't remember. But right off of Shibuya Crossing is the Hachiko statue here, which is a dog that I can't remember exactly the story, but I know that the dog would wait at the station for its owner, and its owner never came back one day, and the dog stayed there at the station waiting for the owner, and it's just a very, very loyal dog. Just look at it. And you could tell that a lot of people touch it because all the paint has been running off, like the patina or whatever. And I couldn't get a picture of me with it because there was a long line to get a picture with it. This isn't even my hand. This isn't even a hand of any of my friends, okay? This is a hand of some random lady that I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay, I'm getting a picture of this statue. I'm going to cut her out of it. But yes, very, very, very good boy. I had to get a picture of it. I had to see it. I got close enough to take this picture, and that's about it. Uh, An unwide dragon body pillow? Oh gosh. If you guys want one, I guess I could sell one. I know the story. I watched a movie. Oh, you watched a movie on it? Okay. So yeah, you know about it then. Oh yeah. So one of my next like snacks I ate was I had a big CC lemon drink here, which is basically sparkling lemonade. It's like sparkling water. It's carbonated and it's just lemon flavored. So it's basically lemon flavored sparkling water. It was pretty good, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not very into carbonated drinks at all. So I kind of sipped on it all day. And then these here uh, are crackers, squid and shrimp flavored. And like it's a cracker, it's got a squid imprint on it. I'll be honest with you, they're not really that great. Uh, I did finish them. They didn't really taste super fishy, but it's one of those things I sat there. I'm like, I want to try different things. This is kind of a weird enough thing. So I tried those. They weren't great, not terrible. They were squid and shrimp crackers. So I never got any more. I'll say that. Okay, it wasn't like melon pond where I got more melon pond, but crackers with shrimp flavor is so weird. Okay, there was squid jerky there, okay? There was squid jerky over there. There was actually in the 7-Eleven, there was like a little section of aisle that had different squid foods. Like there was like squid jerky, squid crackers, squid like a lot of stuff. The squid jerky was not that bad, being completely honest, okay? My buddy bought some squid jerky and I tried it. The texture was just like jerky and it had just a little bit of a tinge of like a fishy kind of taste, like a squid kind of taste to it. So I mean, the squid jerky wasn't that bad. Oh gosh. Uh why can't I go to the next picture? Oh, I guess I got to the end of that one. Let me see. Oh yeah, I had to start off somewhere else. Um, I got way more pictures. It was just that like I started out in the middle of the pictures and I did not. Yeah, okay. So I should probably go ahead and look at these two here. We'll look at these two pictures here because this takes place because the next day. Let me see. The next day. Let me see. Monday, Tuesday. I can't remember for sure if it was the next day for sure. But one of the next things we did was we took a bullet train ride to Kyoto, okay? And along the bullet train ride, I got to see Mount Fuji from the bullet train. Not great pictures of it, but Mount Fuji is almost always covered by clouds. And then again, we were taking this on a bullet train that was going like 170 miles per hour. And when you took a picture, you didn't know if there was going to be a. Oh, wait, do you guys see this? Oh, you guys don't. Okay. Give me a second. Give me a second. I don't know why it's not showing up for you guys. Um, there. Sorry. Sorry. Uh, uh, did you go to Ichiran, popular ramen place? Oh, I did not go to Ichiran. I did go to a ramen place, but I did not go to Ichiran, okay? Um, I would have liked to, but again, my friends are not big Naruto fans, and I did not really look up where there was an Ichiran place at. Um, so yeah. Plus, I should probably mention, okay, one of my buddies was sick most of the trip, and he could not really eat very much on the trip, so we didn't really eat at a sit-down restaurant, but a couple times. Because he was just kind of like snacking here and there just to get along. Because if he ate, then he would throw up. So he didn't eat very much at all. So we didn't really eat at very many like restaurants or anything like that. So a lot of the food we ate was like stuff we picked up like from stands on the side of the road, or we picked up at 7-Eleven or stores or stuff like that, or candy that we got from places. How was your bullet train experience? I really liked the Bullet Train. Bullet Train was really, really good. I would find it comparable to a plane ride because, like, plane rides, there might be a little bit of turbulence, or at least mine did not have very many turbulence. The ones going to Japan. But the bullet train is again a fast-moving object. Um, there was a little bit, like every once in a while, there might have been just a little bit of a bump or something like that. But it was a really good experience. There was a lot more space for your legs and armrests for you to sit. On the plane, it was very, very cramped. So this was a much better experience there. Um, and also we got to sit next to each other, so it was fine. It was cool being able to look at the Japanese countryside and stuff like that, see Mount Fuji, the mountains. You like okay, I know Japan is kind of a volcanic kind of island kind of thing, but you would not believe how many mountains there are there. Like going along the bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto. Oh my gosh, the mountains. Like I would see a mountain and I'd be like, is that Mount Fuji? No, no, that's not tall enough to be Mount Fuji. What mountain is that? And then I'd go on Google, go on Maps, and I'd be like, oh, that's Mount whatever. And it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Picture, video, or whatever. But yeah, it was a good experience. I did get some bento boxes on the train rides. Let's look at these Mount Fuji pictures. Let me talk about them a little bit more since now you guys can see them. But anyways, of course there's clouds here. This telephone pole that's in the way because we took a picture and then it appeared because we're going so quick. But you can see the very top of Mount Fuji right up there. And then there's one there, another transformer, telephone pole, or whatever, and a more Mount Fuji. So yeah, there is that. Give me a second to get to the next spot. I guess we can just go ahead and start here. This will work good. Why is it not working now? Don't be that way. There you go. Picture number one. No, the Naruto one, that's Ichiran. It's a Naruto theme park. I meant Ichiran Ramen. It's probably the most popular ramen place there. Oh, no, that's what I meant. Okay, that's what I meant. I didn't go to the theme park, of course, but I mean, like, we didn't go by the ramen place either. So, but yes, on the train ride, okay, on the bullet train ride, you can buy bentos at the, like, bento lunch boxes at the train station, okay? Like, literally on the train platform, there are stores, okay, that sell bento boxes and foods and stuff like that that you can eat on the bullet train. And I ended up getting this one here, which is like a chicken, okay? These are like pieces of chicken. Got some rice. This is some sort of sauce to go with it. I don't really know what type of sauce. This right here is kind of a sweet omelet piece. And then I don't know what this little black piece is here. I'll be honest with you, I didn't eat it, okay? And then a lemon. But yes, it was a really good bento box. It was my favorite bento box we had there. I really liked chicken. Um, the rice was sticky rice, so it was a little hard to eat. I actually ate this with chopsticks. It was the first meal I'd eaten over in Japan with chopsticks. And it was really good. I would eat it again. The only problem with these were that they were lukewarm. They weren't like hot and like ready to eat or anything like that. And there was no microwaves at the store or, of course, on the bullet train. So you kind of ate these somewhat, like, not chilled, but like I said, lukewarm. So could have been better if they were warm, but still very, very good. Yum, I know, it was really good. Like the rice, okay? I'm a real big fan of rice, okay? And this rice was pretty dang good. With the chicken, was spectacular. I don't know how to feel about the sweet omelet, though, that they had, like the sweet right here. Because at first, I sat there, I'm like, I tasted it. And I was like, this is really, really sweet. It almost tasted like a yellow cake. Like it was like a cake consistency almost to it. It's like fluffy, kind of soft or whatever, but it like tasted like sugary with it. So they had to have added something else to it. But it was egg. So I don't know. Nice food. I blame it for me almost needing to pee. Oh. How'd it taste? Okay, like I said, it was cold. Tasted like chicken and rice. I mean, there wasn't really anything spectacular with it. It wasn't like it was spicy. It was like classic seasoned or whatever. Breading was good on it. Um, yeah, just really, really good. I mean, that's my thing, okay? I'm not super big onto like spicy stuff. So this having like just classic seasoning or whatever, just like a nice mild kind of thing, it was really, really good. How do your pals enjoy the Japan trip? The one pal that was sick all the time, he enjoyed it, but he wishes like he was the one that I was helping, like was helping me plan everything. Okay, the one that got sick. So he helped me with the itinerary, helped me get the plane tickets and hotels figured out, stuff like that. And he was wanting to try quite a few different places to eat. Like he wanted a ramen place, he wanted to eat at all these different like more authentic Japanese cuisine kind of stuff. But since he got sick, he was not able to eat at those. So I mean, he liked the trip, just he wishes he was not sick. So he could have like ate at different places, and then while he was sick, he did not get to go to Ichibukuro to the first Pokemon Center and the Bandai Namco store, and he also did not go to Shinjuku with us. So I mean, he would have had a better time if he was not sick. My other friend had a good time. He was just a nervous wreck, okay? Every train station, he was worried. Whenever we got to the plane, like the airport, he was trying to find the gate hours before we really needed to. Like I was like, let's go get something to eat. Let's go to the stores or whatever. And we're like 5 hours before the plane. He's like, no, we need to get to the gate. And I'm like, dude, calm down. So if he wasn't as like worried about stuff and my other buddy was not sick, then we would have had a much better time. That and if we didn't lose one day. But we did have a good time. We already kind of talked about possibly doing another Japan trip. So possibly in the future, like maybe not next year, but maybe in a couple years, we might be able to go on another trip. Um, let's see. I am that friend, always nervous. Well, that's the thing, okay? I felt super, super, super safe here in Japan. This is going to be like a little tangent, okay? But like, I felt so safe in Japan because literally every time we dropped something, someone was there saying, oh, you dropped something, or picking it up for us and handing it back to us. Like, you drop money or something like that, same thing. My friend dropped his train pass, okay, which a train pass is like $300, and someone instantly was like, "Oh, hey, don't lose that or whatever," or like picking up for them. And like people were nice there. They were just very to themselves. Like if you needed something, you could ask and they would try to help, but they weren't going out of their way to talk to you. They were more reserved, okay? Which kind of fits with me since I'm kind of introverted at most times. But they were very nice, and it's a very safe, like, country. I'm sure there might be some places that aren't as safe, but Tokyo I feel like is very, very, very safe. I thought it was so safe that I ended up leaving my suitcase in a locker at the train station, which my buddies were super, super like, why are you doing that? Like, we would not do that if you're in the United States. We would not do that there because we would not feel safe about leaving it there. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave my stuff there. And everything was perfectly fine. People are just nice there. Even though you don't know the language, they try to help. And it was just very, very nice. I had a very good experience with the people there. Did you say arigato? I did. I did say arigato, and I said sumimasen, sorry or excuse me, a lot. I feel like you need to know sumimasen more or just about as much as arigato. Because sumimasen, sorry or excuse me, is to like partially get someone's attention. So like if you need to get off the train, usually you're saying sumimasen and then like kind of like almost pushing through them. Because sometimes the trains got very, very, very packed, okay? Like there was one day, our last day, that it was jam packed. Like we were like a can of salmon, like a not can of salmon, a can of sardines. There were people pushing, and like they would keep pushing until there was no space left. So yeah, like at that point, you have to say sumimasen and push your way out of the train. And then whenever I would like not understand something, like if they were trying to explain something to me, like, oh, tap your card or do you want a bag? And like I didn't understand them, then they would explain it a little bit better or do some like hand gestures, or some of them even knew it in English. And then I'd be like, oh, Sumimasen, like, sorry about that, didn't understand. So yeah, I feel like Sumimasen is almost more useful than Arigato, but Arigato is super easy. Everyone knows that. You'd keep me safe in Detroit. I never left the airport in Detroit, luckily. India trip when? You'll have to tell me when it's the coldest in India, and that would be the time I would think about it. Because we already talked about it being so hot and humid in India. Like, I would need to know the absolute time that it is the minimum temperature in India. Then I would even think about it. I don't want to go there and die. Uh, but yeah, I felt super super safe in Tokyo. It was just wonderful. So yeah, bullet train ride food, bento boxes, always a good thing. That's one thing about Japan. This food is super cheap. I don't remember how much I paid for the bento box, but it couldn't be more than a couple dollars. Couldn't have been more. And that's a good amount of food for a couple dollars. Oh, I need to figure out give me a second. I need to figure out what temple this was. This was in Kyoto, okay? This is after we got off the train. So, Kyoto Station. Let me look on the map. So, this was. Oh, I can put this in a text box. Give me a second. So, let's add a text box, and then I'll type it in so you guys know. Names. Okay, so this one was. Oh gosh, my phone. Higa. Higashi. Oh, I'll change the size of this after I get it typed out. Okay, then Han ga Hanganji. Hangaji. Okay. Oh, I think there's a space between that. There we go. That's better. So yeah, this is the name of the temple. If you want to, you can look that up on Google if you want to. But this is the temple that we looked at first. I think this is the only temple we went to go see. But it was a very beautiful temple. It was right off of Kyoto Station. Like we had a very very short walk to get here. But yes, here is the front gate to it. You did not have to pay anything to get into this temple, which is pretty nice. Temples and shrines, really, you didn't have to. We did go to a castle later that we did have to pay for, though. So, nice gate. It was huge. You can tell compared to the people that are standing there. Looks like kind of gold colored like metals all around it. Higashi sounds like a sports anime side character, kind of. Whenever I saw the name of it, I thought of Higurashi, which is the horror anime When They Cry. Higurashi When They Cry. That's the first thing I thought about. But I love Higurashi. Um, yeah, here is us walking up to it. Um, oh yeah, it's not in the picture here, but off to the side over here, I didn't get in the picture, but there was actually like a flea market thing going on. Like they were like selling stuff. They had tents up and they had like little different knickknacks and coats and stuff like that. I actually saw a coat that almost looked like Leon's coat from Resident Evil, and I'm like, what do you think the chance would be that it's the same type of jacket? And I go over there and buy it, and I just like, it's like, oh hey, I got Leon's jacket over in Japan. But yeah, there were just like a little like people that were just selling stuff over here. Um, I hope you click lots of pictures with yourself and your pals there. I got some. I didn't get as many as I wanted, but I guess it kind of makes sense. You wouldn't have to pay for being a religious site. Yes, but they did have somewhere where you could donate, okay? You could donate there too. Kind of like shrines, okay? Shrines have like the shrine box where you could just throw in money. These did have some donation places. And then they also had a gift shop here that you could like buy stuff that I guess goes toward the temple. But yeah, got that. Here's a nice close up of the door, like huge. You can't really tell because I don't have a person right next to it. But if you go back to this one, you can kind of tell that like it's almost twice as tall as these people here. And like these aren't like short people. These are like kind of normal sized people. So I mean, I'd say the door was 10, 12 feet tall, something like that. So pretty big doors. Look pretty and stuff like that. That's the thing. The gold coloring on all these or whatever is very nice. Again, understandable. Yeah. A flea market. It must be. Did you donate like a yen? Um, I think I bought something from the gift shop. I didn't really do any donating because I sat there. I'm like, I don't know how much money I'm going to be spending. Like, I'm already spent this much money on this trip, and I'm like, I also want to make sure I have enough money to buy the souvenirs I want. And I'm like, I still haven't bought anything, so I'm like, I didn't really donate anything. I think I just bought something from the gift shop. So, but yeah, big door. This was a bell here. I guess one of the old bells they had. Because there was another bell already hung up, but I guess this was just an older one. Um, oh, this is a close up. So I'm not 100% sure what this bird is, but my buddy said it was probably a phoenix. Um, and to be honest, it does kind of remind me of phoenix with like the fiery tail feathers and stuff like that. Because there were phoenixes in some other artworks that were here. So yeah, we just kind of went with this is probably a phoenix. Force perspective has betrayed me. Seems way more impressive when you point it out and look like a gazebo at first. Yeah, that's the thing, okay? Like, oh, there is a huge lamp, okay? I have a picture of a huge lamp later that, like, just a picture of it does it no justice, okay? Like, I'll tell you how tall I was next to it because I took a picture with me on it. I don't have it on here, but I will show you how tall I was compared to the lamp, okay? But yeah, I think that was like a phoenix of some sort. Um, there is the main temple building. I don't think I mentioned it. This is a Buddhist temple. That's probably you probably knew that already. I mean, but if not, it's a Buddhist temple. There you go. Be back after a few. Okay, see you in a little bit. But yeah, main building here. Oh, actually, is it not? That doesn't look like the main building. Oh no, it's just a perspective thing. Like you said, okay, like you said, the perspective. Because like, look how small the person is. This temple is huge. There's the lamp I'm talking about there. Okay. But yeah, really big temple compared to like these people. Like, um, there's another picture of the temple from the side. It seems like Assassin's Creed Shadows parkour roofing. Yeah, okay, that was what I really wanted to see about Kyoto because all like quite a few of the buildings around here are like the old architecture. Okay, like like the roofing and stuff like that. A lot of them are this, so I really liked that. Yeah, again, all the people next to it. Let me see if you can. Yeah, if you see that person right there, you can tell that the stairs, just the stairs, are taller than the regular people around. So, I mean, this is at least, let me see, maybe 8 foot off the ground, maybe? Something like that. 8 to 10 feet off the ground, just the like the platform, the building, like this platform around it. So I mean, very very tall. Did you do parkour though? Unwise Ezio? No, I did not. I think if I tried to do parkour around here, they would have probably thrown me out of Japan. So I tried to be on my best behavior. um. Oh, this was a like a wasn't a wash basin? Yeah, okay. This is the roofed wash basin or whatever. It had a dragon here, and there was not actually any water inside the basin here. But yeah, a dragon that looks like the water came out of its mouth there. And it said like I think that sign says not to drink the water, but there was no water in there, so I mean it wasn't like I was going to drink anything. But maybe at certain times there might be water. I don't know. But yeah, watch basin. There's the lamp again. I think it's probably the next picture. No. Okay, here is the main gate, okay? I did not come in the main gate, okay? I showed you the smaller gate. I showed you like I think there was 3 gates to get in here, okay? This is the main gate here, okay? And you can see how tall these are compared to these people here. I think this is right here one of the donation things you could throw money in. Then there's also netting up here to keep the birds out of there. Or I assume that's what the netting's there for. But yeah, same big doors, but this is just much, much taller. Much, much taller. But I love the architecture around here in Kyoto. Uh, I don't think there's really anything else with this. Oh yeah, also this whole courtyard had gravel. Okay, and I cannot tell you like how nice just walking on this. Like this wasn't like jagged gravel either. It was kind of like a smoother gravel. So like this was like a nice walking place. Like I really liked walking on this gravel. If that sounds weird, like walking on gravel, but it was just cool walking around this courtyard area with it. Here is this is a picture from yeah. There's the offertory or where the donation box there too, and this is me on the temple steps taking a picture of the main gate there. Um. Oh, here's the lamp. Here's the lamp I'm talking about. Okay, so this lamp, okay, looks kind of big, but again, it's a perspective thing, okay? This thing is huge, okay? For my height, okay, I'm like 5'10", okay? My height was probably up to that. Probably up to the concrete. Like, I don't think I even made it up to this. I might have partially been up to this point right here. But I was basically right up to that, and that's 5'10". So this thing, it's pretty tall for a lamp, and there were a couple of these around there. And they're pretty too. Like I think those are lions there maybe or some sort of big animal. I can't tell from this picture. The closer you get in, the more pixely it gets, but I think it's a lion. It's weird that when going to other countries that I'm a tiny bit disappointed when seeing normal skyscrapers. I know, okay? You think going to like different countries, they might have different architecture for the skyscrapers. Like you think of like New York City skyscrapers and like those being like oh more modern, but then again, then it's like you go to Japan, it's like oh are we gonna have skyscrapers that look like that kind of thing? Like are skyscrapers gonna look like that, just in like nice bigger like square skyscraper form? But no, they're just regular skyscrapers. Oh, I have pictures from Tokyo Tower. I have like I think a couple pictures from Tokyo Tower on here. So I mean we'll get to those too. But yeah, again, lamp big lamp, okay? I'm sure when they light this up, all the moths come to the yard, okay? And they're like, damn, that's a big lamp. Oh. This was a. This was actually painted. This was a map of the temple grounds. So I was not able to go to everywhere in the temple. There was a lot of the parts of the temple that were blocked off to us, the general public. So the places you could go as a normal person walking in here was you could go all in this area here. So right this right here was a small art exhibit here that had some art from here, and you could not go behind this building. There was like a gate right here. Then you could tell there's a gate here. This is the main temple. This is a secondary side temple. And then there was this little garden with a house here, which almost looked like it might be where some people that take care of the temple live. It kind of looked like that. There was another bell here, and then I think that's the wash basin right there. Well, no, That's a wash basin. Yes. There's a fountain. There's another big fountain out there. I did not get to look at any of this. Any of this stuff way back here was off limits, which was sad. It was very sad. I was like, oh, I don't know if we can get a good picture of this. I wanted to get back here because this is like a moon. Like it looks like a moon, like a section of a moon with like a dot kind of middle, and it looked like a giant platform or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I want to kind of go back there and see that. And I mean, like this stuff looks kind of cool. I mean, like the buildings and stuff, but no, off limits, off limits. But it was cool that this was all like painted. So yeah. You think locals get more access? I almost bet no. I almost bet that locals probably don't unless you get explicit permission. Like there might be ways that you could get permission or whatever. Like there might be some locals that like help out around the temple or something like that that are able to go back there. But I almost feel like it's only like special permission kind of stuff. I bet you could have possibly there might have had like premium tickets or like some like special tickets, like first class tickets that you might have been able to see some of the other stuff, but I did not see any of that. Like they might have been able to like oh there's tours. There might be tours that go to some of these extra spots, but we did not see that. We just got this free section here that was the main secondary temple, stuff like that. Um, Maybe if you became a Shinto monk. This isn't Shinto. This is Buddhism. But yeah, pretty cool. I like the painting there. This was actually a picture from inside the temple. Of like the altar thing there. And again, up here there are phoenix like pictures and stuff like that up there. Um, Let me see what you guys say. This just makes me think of how nuanced streamers make things worse for everyone. I hope you don't think about me like that, okay? Because I'm not trying. Like, I went there to take pictures. I was a tourist, I know. But, like, I wasn't, like, recording, live streaming all this stuff. I wasn't talking loud. I wasn't being, like, an annoying... I wasn't being an annoying streamer or anything like that. Like people hate, okay? Uh, but yeah. Anyways, this was that. I think I have a picture. Yeah, like this is the whole room. So like there were these mats here, look like tatami mats. The whole this is a huge thing. This goes the whole length of the temple. And then like I said, I don't think you can get closer, but I think that's a peacock. I think those are phoenixes. They could also be peacocks too. I have no idea. But yeah, so much gold coloring on all of this. Like everything was either wood or gold. Okay. There was actually a service going on in the opposite temple. The opposite temple had a service going on, and they were not allowing people to take pictures or videos at the time. But the secondary one, I was able to go in here and take pictures from this one. The Johnny Somalis of the world. Yeah. Like anyone that like is streaming like him, definitely just needs to be kicked out of the country. uh, yeah. There is that little old lady standing right in the front, right in the middle of my picture, but she's fine. This is the walkway between the temples. Um, if you look right here, this is actually a sled that they use to carry the timber up here to help build the temple, because I'm pretty sure the temple had to be partially rebuilt at one point. I think I remember reading that. So like they used this to carry some of the logs up here. And then way over there, I know there was some rope that was made out of hair. I didn't really get a picture of that. But everything here, like the wood was nice and smooth. Everything looked really nice and stained. It was just very nice. Uh, oh yeah, and of course they had the moat. Okay, the moat around the temple had koi in it, and like look at these guys. I don't know how old they are, but they're huge. Just look at them. They're so cute. So there's some like darker ones there. There's like the orange, black, white ones, yellow, gold ones. Yeah, pretty cute. Okay, now we are out of there. So let me go ahead and get rid of that and put up our next name of things. I don't know if any of you guys know about this shrine. This is like the bigger of the shrines around Kyoto. This is the one that really came up whenever I typed in shrines with torii gates. And this is the one that has like the most torii gates, I think, of any shrine. So let me see. I want to make sure I get the name right. Okay, so it is boop, 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 Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine. Make that a little smaller. So yeah, all of these pictures I'm going to be showing now are from the Inari Shrine, which I do. After I got back from Japan, I sat there. I'm like, this would actually make a really, really good, like, informational type of like educational video. So I sat there. I'm like, I'll go over these pictures with you guys on a live stream, but there might be an educational video that comes out later about some of these places, because some of these places are really, really interesting. Kind of like this place. Let me see what you guys are saying. There's always a cuter fish. There's always a bigger fish. One of the on the bottom made me think of imitation crab meat. What are the gates for? Only guesses from Ghost of Tsushima. Where the mark the start of the path to a shrine. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what torii gates are actually for. Let me look that up. Actually, I can probably give you an easy description of what they are. Let me see. What are torii gates? Torii gates, traditional Japanese gates that mark the entrance to a Shinto shrine, symbolize the transition from mundane human world to a sacred place. There you go. So it is the start of the spiritual or the supernatural. Like, yeah, spiritual probably. I want to say supernatural because the first thing I think of is like going to like Izakai or like Inuyasha, okay? Inuyasha, like where she fell down the well or something like that and ended up there, or Spirited Away, where she went to the other kind of world. But yeah, that's basically it's the beginning to the shrine, the beginning to the spiritual or whatever. But yeah, this shrine, the Inari Shrine, has over 10,000 of them. They have over 10,000 torii gates. And I will, like, you might think, like, how can a shrine have 10,000 plus torii gates? I have a picture that we'll go over and it'll show you how. But yes, this is the very beginning of it. I'm pretty sure my buddy said that these are supposed to be kitsunes statues here, but they have them. Everything is like red and white here. Like all the buildings are red with kind of gold and white. This was kind of the highlight of like one of the highlights of my trips was this shrine. This was the shrine I wanted to go to because it had so many torii gates. It's up the side of a mountain. It's on Mount Inari. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I think these are kitsunes. I'm pretty sure. Um, then the next one, a little up close of another one of these. There is tons of little smaller shrines all the way up this, okay? It's not one shrine. It is a whole bunch of them. So like this is one smaller shrine that is at the very foot of the mountain. Like you have to go up like a couple torii gates and like a couple set of stairs and you get to this one. This is like by far like the very like probably the one of the first ones you get to. And don't get me wrong, looks pretty cool, okay? Has a little offering box there, has the red like you would say kind of gazebo thing there. Makes me think it's massive. This is not massive. This one back there is pretty dang big. That one's pretty dang big. It's probably similar to size to the one at the Buddhist temple, like the opening gate. But yeah, there's that. These torii gates, these are the torii gates I'm talking about here, okay? These are freaking big, okay? Like, if we're looking at these people, like, this person is, like, kneeled down. Well, not kneeled down, but, like, kind of hunkered over a little bit. I would say her head would come up to about there, maybe, depending on how far down she is. So this torii gate is probably 3 times as tall as her, maybe a little bit more. I'd say she's probably 5'8", maybe something like that. That's just a guesstimation. I'm not really great at guesstimating either. But like, there's some people here, like you can tell that they are a little shorter. Um, but yeah, I kind of got stopped here at the very beginning because first off, everyone like you can see this person get a picture. There's another person that has their phone out to get a picture. That person got their phone out to get a picture. I was standing way back here to get a picture, and I kind of got my thumb in a little bit. um, but yeah, super tall torii gates. These are the very like some of the very first ones. And there were tons of people stopping here to get pictures. Now these ones here, let me make sure. Yeah, okay, these ones. So it starts out like that, okay? Like you can see this one here, you can just see there's torii gates about every couple feet or something like that. There's a torii gate. And it goes like that for a while. And then we got to a point where there was a gap in the torii gates and there was a road that went to the right over here. And it led to a smaller shrine and then also a cemetery. So, like, I have some pictures from a cemetery. I hope you guys don't think it's weird that I took pictures of a cemetery, but like this is an old cemetery. Like this isn't like oh, people were buried here like 50 years ago. This is probably people are buried here hundreds of years ago. Like there's moss growing on the tombstones and whatnot. So I mean, these next pictures are going to be of like cemetery plots and stuff like that have like tombstones on them and stuff like that. My chats are slightly behind. I typed that before you mentioned it was a bunch of shrines up the side of a mountain. Oh, okay, okay. Well, that makes sense now. Okay, anyways, now up to these here. Was it full of cement? It's historic. Exactly, it's historic, okay? After a certain point, okay, like these grave sites become more historic than they are. Well, they are still a grave, but I mean, they become more okay to video or take pictures of. So there's this one here has like a small Torii gate, and something you might notice on some of these or whatever is that people, I guess, probably they're like either uh, their descendants have come by and put stuff on. Like this one has these little Torii gates that someone have left. These like little statues here have little things around their necks or whatever. I've seen people that have crocheted some stuff to put on statues. You'll see some later. But it's kind of cool that people still, years and years and years later, still come up here and put stuff on these statues to kind of like show that these people are still thought of, kind of thing. This is really the beginning to like the bigger part of the cemetery here. So lots of Torii gates. All along here are different graves and everything like that, different tombstones. This actually right over here was a small store where you could buy candles and stuff like that. And if you want to come up here and put a candle down or something like that. So I'm guessing it's probably ran by the shrine, and they probably sell those candles there to make a little bit of money. They sell like incense, candles, stuff like that. It wasn't like a gift shop. Pay the respects, exactly. The pay respects. So next picture, yeah, another one of these. Again, they have stuff on the statues, and you can start to tell that there's a little bit of moss and greenery starting to grow there. Like you can see these trees are kind of starting to sprout up. Moss all along here, stuff growing in between the cracks. You can tell that it's kind of kept clean, but it's also kind of keeping the history that these are older. Like it's not like they're scrubbed clean or anything. I haven't actually tried to Google Translate any of these. I'm guessing these probably say a name and probably a family name on them. I don't know. It possibly could also say possibly where they're like from, if they're from like a town that's maybe outside of here, out of Inari or something. I guess if you guys wanted to, you could try to Google Translate these. I might try to after the stream or at some point. Uh, yeah. So here's what I'm talking about. People like making stuff to leave here, because like this one here has a statue of a guy, and again, there's that little thing you could put like incense or something like that in there. They got flowers here for them, and then there's this little statue, and he's got like a nice little scarf on him. And that's the thing. I don't know what that scarf is made of, but I would almost feel like it's fairly new. Like it could possibly be made of something that's kind of nice and like tough, so that like it could stay out there for a while. But it seemed pretty new, so it seems like people are still coming around here. Let me see what you guys are saying real quick. Why translation? We can just turn Japanese. No, no. But yes, there is that one. And like from this section here, there's like more down this way, which I don't think I went down this way. Well, I don't think I took pictures down this way, but there was. And pay attention to some of these, because sometimes people will leave coins and stuff on there. Like you might see candles or incense, you might see coins, you might see flowers left behind or stuff on the statues, stuff like that. It would be cool if my glasses would somehow superimpose a translation onto the lenses. I think they actually do make some glasses that can do that now. Like AR glasses, augmented reality or whatever. They probably could now. But yeah, this was one cool one. This was another cool one I saw, which also seems kind of sad. But like this one, you could put candles in here. This one probably for incense you could throw there. There's flowers, and this one's got nice bits of crocheting. And you can see there, this is a statue of a woman holding a baby, and like the baby's even got stuff around it. So I don't know for sure, but it almost made me seem like it might have been a mother and a baby that died, and this was a grave for them. So that was kind of sad, but that was one of the cooler ones. And like, I think off to this side was the other one that had the scarf on it. But yeah, it's one of those things. Like we said, these are historic and they're kind of cool. This one, this one was really cool. Like this one went hard. Like look at this, okay? Like it's got these two statues, these guys here, and then there's this one here that has the sword and the fire behind it and stuff like that. Like this one was impressive, okay? This one was intimidating. Like I went by the first time this one, and there were some other people taking pictures of this one, so I couldn't get a picture. But when we came back by, there was no one here, so I went ahead and took a picture of it then. But yeah, other than the one with the woman with the baby and the other guy with the scarf, this is probably one of my top ones too. Okay, so next. Okay, so now we're out of the cemetery. I did have a lot more pictures of the cemetery, but I did not show them all on here because we'd be looking at a lot of pictures of cemeteries. And we have a lot of pictures still to go through and a lot of stuff to talk about. So, so at the, like, you know how I said that, like, off the main path was the path that went to the cemetery? This was also the other side of that offshoot. So, this is a shrine to a tree. I don't know exactly what is special about this tree. I don't think I have. No, I did not have the picture of the plaque. I do have the picture of the plaque, but it's not on here. But yeah, it's a shrine to a tree that grew like this. And the picture, like the sign right next to it, said that if you touch the tree, it would heal your knees and back. So, of course, a lot of people are touching it. I didn't really touch it because, like, my knees and backs weren't hurting, but one of my buddies did touch it just in case. But yes, a shrine to a dead tree. Again, another shrine. I think this might be graves also. But I loved whenever I got here, okay, I knew I had to get a, like, this is a forced perspective thing, okay? Because this one is nowhere near as big as I made it look, okay? Because, like, I got down near the ground and took a picture of it going up to make it look bigger and more imposing. This really is not that big. Like, really, if you're a fairly tall person, you could probably have hit your head on these top, like, boards or whatever for this. Ooh, this is one of my favorite ones, and the reason why I use this for my thumbnail for the video or the live stream was because I got far enough up the mountain, and my buddies also got tired, so they didn't come all the way up. But I got far enough the mountain that there weren't as many people, and I got this nice picture of the Torii gates without anyone else here. So it was pretty cool. I liked that. And like I was talking about from the beginning, like there's 10,000 plus Torii gates. And the reason why is because these Torii gates are so close together. Like there's barely a gap between these if you can like look down there. So they just have a Torii gate every like few inches basically. There's barely an inch gap between them. And some of them actually have like names of companies or people that donated the money for these Torii gates on them. So I guess like it was funded by like the community kind of. But yeah, I just really like this one since I was kind of, this felt like I was up in the mountain shrine by myself for just a split second. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people did not get this opportunity because if you did not go up this far, there were people everywhere. More of a Torii tunnel. It basically is, okay? There's like enough gap that would be kind of annoying if it started raining because like you would just like walk, rain, walk, rain, walk, rain, just like there'd be like gaps in between. But yeah, basically a Torii tunnel. Ooh, okay, so I got to, I don't even know for sure if it's a halfway point. I'm gonna call it the halfway point. But like I got to this lake up here. I think, yeah, I got to this lake here and there was a sign, okay? And like let's just look at the lake for a second first before I do this. But like kind of nice little like I this might be more considered a pond to be honest, okay? This might not be a lake, but like let's just say a pond. But nice. There were a few people up here, not very many. There were a couple vending machines up here that you could get drinks and stuff. But at this point, there was a sign that said, oh, 40 minutes to the top. Okay. So, like, this was about, I would say, the halfway point. And it said that 40 minutes till you got to the very top of the shrine. And there were no restrooms, no vending machines, no nothing until, like, this was the last time you could use those. So, at that point, my buddies were at the bottom of the mountain because they got too tired and I was halfway up the mountain, and it said 40 minutes till the top. So I'm like, I could either A, continue to the top, spend another 80 minutes, so an hour and 20 minutes, going like up and back, and make them wait for me, or I could be a good friend and turn around and just say, oh, it's beautiful, and I'll come back some other time to try again. So I turned around. You guys were waiting for me to say I just kept going, didn't you? Okay? No, I wouldn't do that, okay? I really wanted to, okay? I really wanted to make it to the top of Mount Nari to see what's at the very top. But I didn't, okay? I turned back around. I made back up with my friends, and we drove back home. Well, we didn't drove back home. We took the train back home. But yeah, very beautiful place. There was actually bamboo right over there, and there was a small bamboo forest along the path. So it's Mount Inari is just wonderful. Okay, this is probably my favorite natural place of all Japan that I went to, at least. And then also I went past it, but there's a sign here that also said beware of boars because apparently they have a boar problem up here in the Inari, like Mount Inari. So the thought of me going up the shrine, possibly being like very, very few people, my friends being down on the bottom of the mountain, and then me being like mauled by a boar, was probably not a good thing. So that was also part of the reason why I sat there. I'm like, maybe I should turn around. Maybe I should. I don't want to be killed by a boar like the Baratheon king from Game of Thrones. But yeah. Potentially gored, exactly. Potentially gored, like not like a for sure thing. But since they put a poster, like a picture up about beware of boars, there's definitely boars around. uh, and then I got back down to the bottom. There was a nice little bridge here with a little creek running down it, down the mountain. Just a nice, pretty visual here. Oh, too far. Boop. Okay. Okay, we're out of the Inari Shrine now. I can go ahead and get rid of this for now, at least. Um, so let's go ahead and how do I type in this again? Oh gosh, that's the wrong one. Give me one sec. So names. So we'll go ahead and delete the names for right now. Boop. There we go. So this right here was like my second like meal in Japan. This is the second meal. This was from 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven was, of course, right across from our hotel. So it was very, very easy just to go over there, pick up something, and plus, pretty dang cheap. I think the prices are actually on these. So, I mean, let's see. So that was 554. I think that's the yen, maybe, or maybe it's, yeah, 554 yen for that. So converting that to our money, let me see, for like US money. So that would be about less than $5. It might be close to $5, something like that. Like without doing like a like actual conversion or something like that, just like guesstimating or whatever, it'd be about like $5 for that. I mean, not bad. It was garlic and oil pasta. And also had some bacon on it, and I think those might be like little sausages cut up or whatever. It was actually a really good meal. I actually really liked it. For it just being garlic, oil, pasta, it was actually really, really tasty. And something that's good about 7-Eleven is that you buy one of these meals there, and they have a microwave that you can just like they like, oh hey, do you want this cooked? And I'm like, heck yeah, go ahead and cook it. I'm like, I'm gonna go over to the hotel and eat this. So yeah, I had that. It was really good, and then I had another melon pan bread, and then I had another one of those like orange mango kind of drinks or whatever, which was really good. Wow, that looks delicious. It was really good. Okay, bacon and pasta, simple and delicious. Somehow reminded me of how I think Nestle psyoped the Japanese into liking coffee. Where did that come from? Oh, but I mean that does sound something Nestle would do. But yeah, anyways, this is a really really good meal. Like I liked melon pan and this garlic oil pasta. I really would like to try making this at my house because like it was very simple, not really much to it, but damn was it tasty. I don't know if I was super hungry because we had just got done getting back from like the Inari Shrine, and I was like, I'm super hungry, man. And I just went to 7-Eleven and this looked good. Oh yeah, there's a picture of it without the top on it. So you can get a little bit better picture. So there's some garlic on it, the bacon, the sausage, and then the noodles. Just good old stuff. And of course, they had to ask me if I wanted chopsticks or a fork. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, if I wasn't super dang hungry right now, I might try this with chopsticks. But I'm like, I just want food. I just want to eat. So I was like, give me a fork. Give me a fork. Okay, this was another one of the meals. I think this was the meal I had the morning after. So this was like kind of a lunch meal. This is where I had another like sparkling lemonade kind of thing. This was fairly good. I think this was like my least favorite of the drinks I had because it was more water than lemon, whereas the other lemon like lemonade was like lemonade. So this is more lemon flavored water. I had the Fammy Chicky, okay, which is very big at Family Mart. I've heard a lot of people talk about how like they just like run by Family Mart just to pick up Fammy Chicky, which is just like a piece of chicken. Like it's a breaded piece of chicken. It's really juicy, nice and tender. Pretty dang good. It also comes in that nice little like paper pouch there that they even like tape up and even. That was one thing I thought was cool, okay? Whenever I'd always buy something, they would always either A, wrap it for me, or B, they'd put it in a bag that was taped up for me. So like I wouldn't have to worry about it like falling out or losing it or it getting broke or something like that. So it was very nice of them. Let's see. I would just waste all my trip and Japan, money on a life-size Luffy action figure. It's better that I don't go to Japan. Well, I mean, here's the thing, okay? I waited to do all my like most of my buying souvenirs till like one of the last days because I knew I was going to be going by Akihabara and I knew I was going to be going by a Hololive store. So I'm like, I need to make sure I have money for those. So I mean, all most of my like buying was the last day. So I mean, if you waited to buy your Luffy figure at the very end after you've already spent like bought all the stuff you wanted to, I mean, there you go. 7-Eleven equal American companies, American companies, shenanigans in Japan, Nestle Psyop. Well, okay, here's the thing, okay? Even the stuff that is like an American like company or something like that over in Japan is just so much better. Like the McDonald's. I didn't eat at McDonald's in Japan, but my buddies did, and they said like it was nothing like a regular McDonald's here in the States, okay? Like they said the food actually tasted real. And I'm like, is that possible for McDonald's? It's actually possible. They're like the chicken actually tasted like chicken. It wasn't like mush or something like that. The burgers actually tasted like a patty of meat. And I'm like, dang. I'd go up the mountain. Exactly, the mountain was good. Action figure would be as tall as me. I'd keep it on my door entrance. Dang, that is pretty big. Though I'm worried about how my mom would handle it, it'd be fine. Okay, you go up the mountain, watch out for boars, you'd be fine. But yes, anyways, I had Fammy Chicky, like a Fammy Chicky patty or whatever. And then I also had a piece of walnut bread here. Which that was another thing that 7-Eleven had quite a good selection of was like their small little bakery thing that they had. They're like prepackaged bakery goods. They had the melon pond. They had different kinds of bread and stuff like that. They had like a mayonnaise bread that was kind of like disgusting looking. I don't know. But yeah, I had the walnut bread, Fammy Chicky, and a sparkling lemon water thing. Oh, and that's the patty, I guess, in the bread outside of the thing. So yeah, good looking, right? Good and tasty. Good and juicy. I heard that Japan KFC is one of the best in the world. I heard so many good things about it. I have heard a lot of good things about the KFC in Japan. We didn't get to eat there, but I'm hoping. I'm hoping if I go again, okay? If I go with my buddies, I'm hoping that they are not sick. Or even better yet, I hope that my parents actually decide that like, oh, well, we wouldn't mind going to Japan and I can go with them and we definitely will eat a lot more places then. So hopefully if I go again, I can eat at more places. Like I can eat at another nice ramen place, eat at some more traditional Japanese food stores instead of just eating 7-Eleven. Ooh, okay. So now I need to edit the text again. So this is going to be a castle, okay? A Japanese castle. And that's not the whole building there. There's more to it. Me trying to crunch my phone, trying to eat the Fammy chicken. Oh, don't do that. Your phone is nowhere near as tender as a Fammy chickie. Oh, okay. So this was yes, that's what the name is. Okay, so it was make that a little bigger. Maybe not that big. There we go. I think it's pronounced Nijo Castle. I don't know why there's the JoJo. Maybe because they like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. But it is a Japanese castle. And this was the first picture I took of it. This is one of the corner like buildings on it. So yeah. Um, this is the front gate. Of course, this is not as flashy as like the temple or also the shrine or anything like that. I think if I remember correctly, this is where the shogun lived. I think. I think that's what one of my friends said, and like they're fairly knowledgeable at like kind of history, Japanese culture kind of thing. But yeah. Again, very big doors, very big like you said before, gazebo looking thing here. Um, not as tall. Well, I feel like it's not as tall as the shrine or temple gates, but still fairly tall. And still with the wood and gold kind of coloring in the stained wood. This goes into the main residency, I think. Yeah, so this is right here where they took our tickets and stuff like that. They scanned our tickets, and then also, oh, I didn't mention that. Whenever we went into the temple, we had to take off our shoes, and you had to just wear your socks around. So you just took off your shoes, wore your socks, and walked around. This is the same because in this entryway here, they made you take off your shoes, and they had little cubbies for everyone to put their shoes on. They're even numbered. So like you just find a number, put your shoes there, and then you're just like, okay, my shoes were number 20 or whatever. You just went back through there and just grabbed them. So, okay. So this goes to the main residency, or well, one of the main ones. This is a picture from the outside. I could not get any pictures of the inside of it. Actually, let me go back here. I could not get any pictures of the inside of this building because photography was not allowed. I can kind of explain what the inside looks like. It was mostly a lot of empty rooms with tatami mat floors and the paper walls, okay? It was basically some like waiting rooms where people would wait for the shogun and stuff like that, like visiting samurai would come in here, or like anyone that was coming to see the shogun would come in here and like wait for them. But each room did have its own little theme. I was talking with my mom last night about that because there was a peony room. Peony is a flower. There was a like a plum blossom room or maybe a cherry blossom room, one of the two. Some flowering tree. There was a room that had like I think it was tigers and leopards in it on the walls. Let's see. I feel like there was another themed one. There was a bird themed one. That's what it was. There was like a peacock theme room. But like it was just like a big building that had tons of like those paper dividing walls, like the very thin walls that like you think of like traditional Japanese houses and stuff like that, dividing up the house into like different rooms, like different waiting rooms. So, and they all had different like I said, different themes to them. Yes, taking out shoes and stuff is here for all temples and stuff. Even taking out socks is the most common thing. Even socks, you even take your socks off? Huh. Paper walls remind me of Homer walking through one of them. Oh yeah, okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, but yeah, it was very, very cool. The only thing was that the walls that were in there, of course, were not the original ones. They said that they had the original walls taken down and they were in like the art exhibit area. So yeah, that's basically what the inside of it looked like. Oh, also, the floor inside this place squeaked. Okay, every single time you stepped, the floor squeaked, and it sounded like birds chirping. And there was even a sign that said something about their like, oh, have you noticed the squeaking? Have you noticed like the birds chirping or whatever? And at first, I thought it might be they might have some sort of speaker somewhere that might have been playing like the sound of like the birds chirping or whatever. But they're like, no, that's the sound of the floor squeaking. And one of my buddies thought it was because, like, oh, this is the Shogun's house. He wants to make sure that he can hear when people are walking around just in case someone's going to, like, try to kill him or something. So he made the floor like that to squeak so no one could sneak up on him. Which, there was a sign that later contradicted that, that just said that, like, oh, that's just something that so happened to happen when they built it. Like, they built it and just the way the nails and floorboards and stuff like that just it just happens to sound like birds chirping. And I'm like, I liked the idea that it was because they want people sneaking up on them. So I mean, part of me kind of hopes that's kind of just like a headcanon kind of thing, but yeah. Guess what, Unwise? You back from Japan trip? I would be amazing time for you to play Ghost of Tsushima and divulge into the world of Japan and samurai. That would be nice. I did also see people talking about playing the what are those other games that are like Japan based that are like organized crime, mafia, no, not mafia, mob. What is the Japanese type of mob again? Um, I forget the name. It'll come to Yakuza. Yakuza. That. Thank you, Legendary Cowboy. Yes, the Yakuza game. I heard people say that like you should play the Yakuza games before you go to Japan. I didn't. I haven't played any of the Yakuza games, but people said that, and I'm sitting here. I'm like, that would be cool. Did they rot the paper walls? I'm sure probably some of it did rot, but I feel like they probably like they might not be the like absolute original walls, but they're like the older walls they took down. So they had like they had remakes of the walls made to put up. Smart, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, that was kind of the thing. Ghost of Tsushima is amazing. Add it to your list to play sometime. I might have to. And if I see it on sale, there's a good chance I'll buy it. So this is the back half of the building we were looking at. This is actually a long building. Like there's or you might consider them interconnected buildings, maybe, because I guess it's almost one building, okay? Whenever we are walking through it, you could not tell you were going to a separate building because they are all like connected. As opposed to remastering the walls, exactly. Not remastering, remaking. I knew someone was going to mention that. It's another side of the like side of it. Oh, there was this beautiful like rock garden like pond area behind it. So like there's a garden back there. They had this little rock garden pond thing here that was really pretty. This gate actually goes to I think my buddy said it was the Shogun's estate was back there. We could actually not go back there because you did have to pay extra for that. And there was like a waiting list for it. So it wasn't one of those things you could just go back to the front and pay or just pay there to go through. It was like, oh, you had to specifically get this ahead of time to go back there to look at that area. So that was kind of sad, but oh well, we got to look at the rest of it. And there's the moat around it. There was actually behind me when I was taking this picture, there was actually a machine that you could buy carp food to feed the fish that are down here, the koi and stuff like that. I didn't do that, but I did have for a split second think about it. But I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't even see any koi around. If I saw koi, I might try to feed them. But there weren't any like underneath the bridge or anything like that whenever I was there. So very, very sad. Not like the temple where I saw them. It looks so much like Assassin's Creed Shadows, parkour roofs. Guess the game developers were pretty appropriate. Yeah, it. I would assume it would look like this. Like I saw some pictures and videos of the game originally, and I mean, like it didn't look bad. It just didn't sound like the story was that great. Oh, this is one of the towers in the corner of the castle, and this kind of gave you a nice like upper view of the garden area and then also the buildings, and then also that crane that is like ruining the view of the sky, just sticking out there menacingly. It's still pretty good. Okay. So I was technically too early to see the cherry blossoms. I was not there to see the cherry blossoms. Actually, whenever we were leaving to go to the airport, they were putting up the tents and stuff like that. They were putting up tables and stuff for the Sakura festival. Okay, we were like one day too early. Like it was going to be that next day that it was going to start. I'm pretty sure. There really weren't any trees blooming at that time, but I'm pretty sure these are plum trees. That's the only thing I could find whenever I took a picture of the tree and the blossoms and I put it through my plant identifying app and it said it was either an apricot tree or a plum tree. And then later on I saw a sign that said there was plum trees over this way. So this has got to be a plum tree. So I got to see the plum blossoms here, these white plum blossoms on this tree. There was actually tons of these in this area. So there's some red ones, pinkish, whatever, white, all along this. And this was like on the, I think this was technically outside the walls of the castle. There's another one of these rock garden like pond areas, which I really like this bridge here. And this is like very like a nice picture right here. I like this. This would be like a good wallpaper or something like that if you're like for a computer or a phone or something like that. Just nice picture. I really like it. And it's even better that I was the one that actually like took it. So it makes me feel even specialer. uh so there was another building over there which there was supposed to be a tea house somewhere around here. I don't really remember for sure. I don't think that's the tea house. But it could possibly have been. Another nice picture. Ooh, okay. So that was all we did in Kyoto. Sadly, we were not able to go to the Kyoto Imperial Palace. We did not have enough time to do that. We also were not able to go up Kyoto Tower, that was right next to the station. We probably could have on the way back, but since we went and did the castle there, Nijo Castle, we did not really have enough time. But now that we are done with that, I am back on the bullet train and I am eating another bento box. Instead of the chicken, I ended up getting the charcoal grilled beef ribs bento. Again, like the last one, it was cold or lukewarm, so it could have been a lot better, but it was still fairly good. So again, we had, of course, the beef ribs here. Underneath these was actually some more rice, like a nice bed of rice. And then there is, of course, I don't really know what that is either. And some vegetables, was like carrot and maybe either seaweed, spinach kind of thing, some greenery. And then, of course, the sweet egg roll thing there. So this was my least favorite of the two bentos I ate. It was still fairly good, but again, it being cold, I feel like cold chicken is much better than cold beef. But it was still all right. I was still hungry on the bullet train, so it still hit the spot. And this was the only other bento that like really like stuck out with me. Like this box was the same looking box that I got the other one. Like it was the same brand and everything like that. And this box really jumps out at you. Like, look at that font and the fire behind it. It looks like they're cooking the food right in front of you and stuff like that. Just looks really good. But yeah, beef ribs, pretty alright. Not gonna lie. Okay, so now, right when we got back from Kyoto, we had a little bit of time, and my buddy was sick because he ate something and he had to stay at the hotel. So me and one of my other buddies, I think I told you guys there were three of us that went on the trip. But anyways, we ended up going to Shinjuku. Okay, I don't actually have a ton of pictures of Shinjuku. It was just a big city street basically. There was tons of stores on each side, but I did take a couple pictures. Straight up just to rim. Yep, just straight up rim, and then Evangelion 01. But yeah, this was the first thing I was shown when I got out of Shinjuku Station. I got out of Shinjuku Station and I looked across the street and there was Rim and Evangelion Unit 01. Very, very good start to it, I have to admit. Gotta leave for work, Unwise. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. We'll probably be playing Alan Wake 2 tomorrow since I got this out of the way. So we'll probably be playing that tomorrow. So I hope to see you then. Have a good day at work. Thank you for stopping by. But yes, this was the first thing I saw when I came into Shinjuku, and I was already happy. Rim is wonderful. Probably best girl of ReZero. Emilia is definitely not that. And then Evangelion. There was actually, before we move on from this, there was a lot of Evangelion stuff there. Like, not in Shinjuku specifically, but there was like multiple points that on the trains there were like videos showing like ads for Evangelion, or in the train station there were television screens or posters for Evangelion. There was actually a lot of it. But this was one of the biggest things we saw. And then also, we went by the Toho cinemas or whatever, and we saw Godzilla. It's Godzilla. Don't worry, he didn't eat me. The sad part was we went to Toho cinemas, okay, and we got up to probably that window there. And it's a movie theater, okay? They got movie theaters there, it's like that. They were showing movies. And my buddy wanted to get right up next to it, okay? He thought there was a way to get up on that little ledge up there, the roof, and to look at Godzilla's head up close. We could not find one. So we went up some escalators to get up here, and we got up there, and like there were just like movie posters and stuff like that for like this movie, and also the one for oh, what's his name? Ken Ryan Gosling, the Ryan Gosling space movie that's like coming out right now. There were movie posters for those two. But yeah, it was cool to see Toho Theater. It was cool to see Godzilla up there. I think I have a picture of a little bit up close. But yes, Godzilla. Oh, oh, okay. So we're done with Shinjuku now. Like I said, I didn't take a ton of pictures there. There was just a lot of. If you really wanted to know what Shinjuku was, it looked like I would expect New York City to look, because like there was just a big old city street that, well, I guess multiple city streets, but like there was like a main street that you'd walk down, and there were tons of stores and tons of people, and there were tons of lights flashing everywhere, and it was just very, very modern, very, yeah. But yeah. So after we got done with that, that was basically all we did for that day. We just walked around Shinjuku. There was like an underground mall I went to that had some gotcha places, some capsule machine stores. Um, Busy? It was very busy. Like Shinjuku is like, okay, this is what I would say from like just being there. I feel like Shibuya is what you do in the morning, and then Shinjuku is what you do in the like the afternoon to like the night probably. Because like Shibuya, we went to Shibuya like fairly early and went to all those stores and stuff like that, and it was very very busy at like to the morning to afternoon time. And then Shinjuku gets very 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 busy at night. Like it's definitely a nighttime city to go to, or like a, is it a district ward or whatever? I don't know. But yeah, it was very, very busy. Like, whenever I tried to cross back into the station or whatever, there were tons of people coming out of the station, tons of people trying to cross the street. I had to push through people to get back to the station. So that was a big reason why we didn't stay for very long, was just because there were so many people there. Like Shibuya was busy, but it was like more of an orderly daytime busy where people were going. Like there were coming and going lanes basically. Like one side was going, side was like coming back. So it was easier to get around. Whereas Shinjuku, it was like almost a free for all. But yeah, after we got back from Shinjuku, the next day we ended up going to Ueno Park, and Ueno Park has the Museum of Nature and Science, which I guess I can write that down. Tokyo Museum. Oh, Nature and Science. Ooh, there we go. That should be good. So yes, we went to Ueno Park, and there were two museums we went to there. So we went to first the Tokyo Museum of Nature and Science, because it opens very very early. Like it was the, I think the earliest thing to open that we went to, because it opened at 9:30. Or no, yeah, it opened at 9:30. Yeah, it opened at 9:30, and then the Natural History Museum right across from it in the same park opened at 10. So we went to this first, and there were multiple floors. Each floor had its own little like thing that it specialized in. So the main floor did have like this one area that had like human evolution kind of thing. So like this shows like the brain of our like one of our earliest ancestors up to a normal human brain or something like that, like a skull, and then brains. I think these might be some sort of. Oh, those are tools, like flint tools and stuff like that, like arrowheads and like a hoe or axe blade or something like that. Uh, but yeah, had all these skulls. Has how many hundreds of thousands of years that was. So it had that. There was an Allosaurus skeleton in the very center of it, which I don't know why they chose an Allosaurus to be in the very center. They have a T Rex skeleton that we'll see later on. But it was kind of weird that they had an Allosaurus here in the very middle. But yeah, this was actually the first time I'd been to a museum that had dinosaur skeletons. I had never been to one that actually had dinosaur skeletons, so it was very, very cool for that. So the Allosaurus. Um, there was I don't know what type of squid this is. But there's a squid, a snake skeleton. Oh, so many bugs. Oh my gosh. Now you see, here's the thing, okay? One of the things I wanted to do while I was over in Japan was I wanted to go to either A, the insect museum that was over, I think it was over in Osaka, or it might have been in Tokyo, off the beaten path. I can't remember. Or I want to go to a beetle shop, okay? Because beetle keeping is very big over in Japan. And I wanted to go by a shop to see beetles, what they had. Like beetles, grubs, what kind of like care stuff they had there, and I don't know. I just want to look around. But I was not able to do that since we did not go to Osaka anymore. But here at the Tokyo Museum of Nature and Science, they had all these pinned insects. So these are all like butterflies and stuff like that. There is a little like key over here that is not in English, so I had to like check what number it was. So like number 31, and I had to match it up with 31 over here. Um, Wherever it is, and then I had to Google Translate what type of insect it was, what type of butterfly or whatever. But yeah, lots of cool butterflies. They had a lot of beetles here, okay? Beetles are my bread and butter of insects, okay? Like butterflies are good. I like butterflies, caterpillars, stuff like that. Beetles are just so cool. Like look at their horns and stuff like that. So like these are nice sized beetles. Like you could tell the ones with the horns are the male beetles, and then these ones are the females ones. Like usually the males are bigger and have horns, whereas the females look similar to them without horns and slightly smaller. So yeah, male, female, male, female, male, female, male, female. Um, these look like all to be male specimens here. And then same goes with these. So they had a lot of different beetles here. I took a lot of pictures of these because I wanted to have them for myself. Did you want to be an entomologist growing up? I did. Like here's the thing, okay? Whenever I was younger, one of the first things I wanted to be was I wanted to be a marine biologist, which I feel like marine biologist is one of those things that a lot of kids want to be when they grow up. Like especially if you're sciencey and you like the environment, you want to be a marine biologist. So I wanted to be a marine biologist. And then I'm like, wait a second. I kind of live like where there's no ocean. Like I live in the middle of the states, so I'm like, it's probably not a good idea to become a marine biologist unless I plan to move somewhere where there's an ocean. So as a secondary thing, entomologist was my secondary. It was very much one of those things. It's like, oh, I like bugs. I like science. Literally, beetles and bugs are everywhere. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. I actually had a lot of like bug catchers and stuff like that, like containers I'd catch bugs in. I'd catch bugs all the time. I spent a lot of time outside catching bugs when I was younger. So yes, I wanted to be an entomologist. My only thing was I never did any of the pinnings or like these collection of them because I you really to do a good pinning, you have to take a live insect and put it in what they call a kill jar, which is a jar that has some sort of like gas in it or something in there that will kill the bug. And then after the bug is dead and like still movable, then you'll put it on a pinning board and you'll pin it in like this like what orientation you want it, like its head, its arms and stuff like that. And then it will kind of harden in that like position. And then you put it in one of these collection things. I never wanted to use a kill jar, so I never really did these collections. But I do appreciate them. I really do. Okay, so these are more like rhinoceros Hercules beetles with the horns and stuff like that, whereas these are stag beetles. Stag being because of like the two-pronged horns or whatever they have. Which actually, this one right here, these type here, I got a beetle from a capsule machine, like a beetle prop or whatever, and it's actually one of these types here. I'm pretty sure it's that one. It looks very similar. I saw one of those beetle capsule machines, the gotcha machines or whatever, and I really thought about getting another one, but they came in pieces. And when you had to put them together. And I didn't actually put it together until I got home. But it's really a legit good beetle prop, okay? I wish I would have got more of them. But yes, just many different types of like stag beetles and stuff like that around here. Some being more shiny and glossy, others being more like flat black or whatever. You can spot the male by their special headgear. That is correct. You are correct in that. Gotta catch them all. Beetlemon, exactly. But yeah, just plenty of different these beetles. I am more. I think I did I say this. I'm more of a stag beetle or Hercules beetle fan than a. Well, sorry, a rhinoceros or Hercules beetle fan compared to a stag beetle. But stag beetles do have their good looks. I do like them too. Then we move on, and they had like a sea life kind of one here, away from insects. So this one has many different like type of seashells things, like clams and different shells. I don't know, clams, mussels. I guess snail shells, conch shells. Just all these different shelled animals. I don't know every single one of them. I'm not going to try. I'm not going to pretend I know them all. But there is a nautilus somewhere around here. Oh, maybe I didn't add the picture of the nautilus. But yeah, then we have this here, okay? I am 90% sure this is a corpse flower. This looks very much like a corpse flower that I've seen before. Like, not in person, but corpse flowers, wonder why they're called mussels? Because they're all muscle. They're all muscle and shell. I don't know. That'd be funny if that's the reason why. It's a demogorgon. Kind of looks like it. Kind of looks like the face of a demogorgon. But I'm pretty sure this is a corpse flower. And the reason why it's called a corpse flower is because whenever it blooms, it smells like rotting flesh. And the rotting flesh will attract flies and insects that will come and grab the pollen and then carry it to another corpse flower, which will then pollinate and then produce more plants through seeds and whatnot. Corpse flowers, I can't remember how many years it takes for them to grow and bloom, but I know it takes multiple years for them to actually bloom. There was, I know on Reddit, I was looking and there was some like college that was growing a corpse flower at one point, and I kept up with them for a couple years until the flower finally bloomed, and they had a video of it blooming like in real time, and that was really cool to see. But it's supposed to be one of the biggest flowers in the world, the corpse flower. So pretty cool. This, of course, probably is not a real one unless it's very well preserved. Probably just a model of one, but still pretty cool. Ooh, time for more dinosaur bones. So we saw the Allosaurus. Then we have all of these, which I did not get a picture of the signs. Uh, I don't know. This one here almost reminds me of a Dilophosaurus, maybe something like that. You can't really tell because it doesn't have any of the like the frills on its sides or something like that. But I feel like this one was a Dilophosaurus if I remember correctly. Then we have Apache, okay, the one with the hard heads that butt things a lot. I've played Ark a lot, and there's certain one of the dinosaurs that like are instantly like, oh, I know them, and then there's other ones that I'm like, that might be this. But yeah, there's Apache here. A Triceratops, of course, pretty well to know. The T-Rex right here, which this I felt like this T-Rex was not really that great of a skeleton of one. I don't know, it just looks odd. It's too close to the ground. But still, it's a T-Rex. Pretty cool. I think actually behind it, like this leg, this body right here, and that neck, I think is the Brachiosaurus. But the Brachiosaurus was way too big to be able to get in one picture. We have some more tops here. Like I think one of these is a Protoceratops. One of them might be. I don't know. There's other ceratops. There are other types of tops. And then we have a Stegosaurus here with its plates right here on its back. We have an Ankylosaurus here. Okay, now we're kind of away from like the land dinosaurs, and there's a lot of like sea life here. So I don't know for sure if this is a mosasaur. There wasn't really a plaque for it anywhere, but it's so big and it's in the same area as the ichthyosaur and then also the well, I think there's a plesiosaur somewhere around here. So it's some carnivorous, like look at those teeth, okay? It's some sort of carnivorous, like sea animal, sea dinosaur thing. We have, I think that's a mammoth, and then also that is the furry rhino from like the Ice Age or whatever. Ooh, okay, this was a submarine that they had here, which was, I think, could go to like if you watched my educational video on like the Titanic and stuff like that, like the ocean floor videos or whatever, I think this is one of the like farther reaching submarines. It might be what the same type of submarine that's the one I talked about in one of those videos. I haven't gone back and looked, but it's a submarine. And you can see its little arms there, so it could do a little bit more scientific or practical work underwater, probably taking samples or something like that. And then they had a giant blue whale outside. They had like a giant blue whale. I'm sure that's probably a full size depiction of one. Maybe not like the largest one, but I'm sure it's a full size one. So we got that. Oh, I didn't. They had a train out front too. They had a train engine out front. I didn't put the picture of that on here. Like I said, at some point I was kind of planning on making like this into like an educational video after I know a little bit more about an area, like about like the museums or the buildings or stuff like that. So I mean, I'll probably have to add more later. Then now we are on to the Tokyo National Museum. Let me get the name change. Poop. Oh, dang, that was not what I wanted to delete, but okay, so the Tokyo National Museum. Perfect. Let's make that a little bigger. Now, a lot of the stuff in here, I don't really know anything about these. I can just say what I like about them, I guess. And that's about all I can say. Like, we can look at them. They're art pieces. A lot of them are subjective. And I didn't really take pictures of the plaques in here or something like that. I just took pictures of what I thought looked neat. So yes. Uh, there's two of these. So there's one here. Like this one, I think is kind of funny. The pose they're doing, and like the facial expression they're making. Whereas this one, again, the facial expression they're making and the pose they're making is kind of interesting. And really, it kind of reminds me if you go back to, like if you wanted to go back to like the cemetery pictures I had at the shrine, this kind of reminds me of the ones that were right next to the cemetery that had the guy with the sword or whatever. These remind me of the two guys that are on the sides of that. So, got them. Another like Buddha statue. Which that was one thing that we weren't also able to do. The day that we went to Osaka, we were also going to plan to try to go by Nara to see the Nara deer, and there was also going to be another Buddhist temple there that had a big Buddha statue, which we were not able to go to see that. So that was a little bit sad, but we got to see, I guess, this statue. We have a suit of samurai armor here. And if you look really close on it, you can tell that like a lot of this is like little pieces of fabric instead of like actual like harder material, which I never really noticed before. Even this, the mask has a like a mustache on it. But yeah, so yeah, pretty cool. I think that was the only suit of samurai armor we ended up seeing on our whole trip. And like the next room behind this is full of swords. I don't know for sure. No, I guess I didn't add any of the swords. But like you can see one of the katanas back there, and a lot of the katanas that are in these rooms do not have the handles anymore. They are just the blades. And on the like the plaques underneath them, it would say who made the blade, because I'm guessing there's like a maker mark on them, and it'd also say when it was made, who it was made by, if it was used in any conflicts or anything like that. Just basically the history of the blade. It's the Lorax. The mustache does kind of remind me of the Lorax. Yeah, and then we have some plates here, which this I did get a picture of the thing here. So this was made early 1600s. Bowl is among the oldest examples of Japanese porcelain. It shows a tiger and leopard coat, a tiger with a leopard coat, probably due to the lack of understanding as either of these animals existed in Japan at the time. So yeah, kind of a pretty porcelain bowl or whatever. Yeah. There is a plate here, which again, these ones had the plaques right next to them, so I could just take a picture of both. Again, 1600s, porcelain, decorated with cobalt blue multicolored enamels, gold pigment. Shows hawks capturing their prey. So yeah, a hawk catching another type of bird there. I see ducks there. A little diorama. And then right behind the National Museum, they had this nice little garden again, which again is like a garden with a pond with some rocks. And there's also these little houses back here, which I'm pretty sure that's the tea house area. I think there's a little bit of seating around there and stuff like that. That there was a tea house somewhere over here, but it wasn't open this time of year. But it was a really nice area. I liked the big pond behind there. It was a nice little garden. It was very well kept. But the grass itself is dead, as you can see. Very, very, very dead. Uh, Another wider picture of it. I think this is a small little waterfall that feeds into the pond. Oh, too far out again. There we go. Okay, so that was the Tokyo National Museum. Now we are at Tokyo Station. So yeah, that museum, like that day we going through the museums at Ueno Park was really good. We also ended up going by a shrine there. There was a shrine at the opposite side of the park from the museums that was surrounded by a pond that had tons of lotuses growing in it. The only problem is since it was so cold and like kind of still in like the ending of winter, all the lotuses were not really growing, so it just looked like a pond with a lot of dead plants in it. So could have been better, but I did like that like it wasn't super warm and humid. So yeah. Anyways, after that, we ended up going to Tokyo Station the next day. This was our big buying day where we did a lot of our shopping. I think this was technically the last day. Yeah, this was the last day because we did not find anything at the Hololive store that was in Shibuya. So instead, I was like, okay, we need to find a shop that sells Hololive stuff that we want to buy, like the plushies we want to buy, standees, pins, whatever we want to buy. So I looked up online. I'm like, Hololive stores, and the one that came up was not the one in Shibuya, but the one at Tokyo Station. So we went to Tokyo Station specifically for this Hololive production official shop in Tokyo Station. And as you can see here, has plenty of merch. It is actually a kind of a small store. It has a poster of like I think most of the girls. The posters go along the other side too, and it has their signatures on it. Some of them have like little things they've like drew on there, like maybe their like little mascot they had or something like that. So pretty cool to see. Um, that's how would that be me? Are you talking about that being me, or like any of these people being me? Because how could it be me if I'm taking the picture? Like my arm would have to be outside of here to be able to take that picture. So no, that's not me. But yeah, Hololive store here even have some shirts, which those shirts I think are those are from the baseball thing they did with the LA is it the LA Lakers? I can't remember or LA whatever the LA baseball team was. They did like a collab with them, so they had those T-shirts there. I don't know, glasses, a brown hair. Plus, I saw him in one. Ah, yeah. Anyways, Hololive store. Here's a little bit bigger picture of them. Has more of the girls over there. So we have Mokoko Fuwawa, Bibu, Subaru, Laplas, Nene, Ollie, Noel, Gigi, Rara. I think that's Louis maybe behind there. But yeah, again, they have just all this stuff drew on all these posters around here. And then you can see the standees right here, and I think those might be keychains or stickers or playing cards. I can't tell. Oh, I didn't get a picture of all the plushies. Oh, that's a shame. Anime Girl Expert, I kind of am. Whole Life ones especially. But yeah, on this wall here was where the plushies were, but there were so many people there I just wasn't able to get a good picture of them. This one I got a picture from outside the store. Like I held the phone up over my head to get a picture of it. But yeah, they had like plushies. This is where I got my Fauna plush, the green anime girl plush I got. Which those should be at the end, the pictures. At the very end, we'll go over the souvenirs I got. So yeah, there was also a Dragon Ball store over in Shibuya Station where I got this this picture. There were other pictures. Yeah, okay. So this is Goku charging up the Kamehameha, or maybe a Spirit Bomb. I don't really know the difference. But yeah, there's one of that. There is another one. That's definitely the Kamehameha, I think, right? I'd say I'm not super into Dragon Ball, so I mean I'm not really technical on the lingo or whatever. I've watched a little bit whenever I was younger, but it was kind of a cool store. I like the statues and stuff like that. Then also in Tokyo Station there was the Pokemon Center that was there. So I went to a total of 3 Pokemon Centers while I was over in Japan. This was the third and the last one. I was not able to go to the one at the Sky Tower, but I really wanted to because it had a Rayquaza like statue there. But the Tokyo Station did have these cute little Pikachus here that have Tokyo Station conductor uniform on them, and I did end up getting one of those. I sat there, I'm like, this is so specialized right here. It's Pokemon and Tokyo Station. I'm like, if I don't get one of these, I'll at least have to get a keychain or something like that from Tokyo Station. So I'm like, why don't I get a plush that has Tokyo Station wrote on it? And it's Pikachu with it. So they had all these different ones. They had little keychain Tokyo Pikachus. They had the little plushies. They had the bags. You can see all the starter plushes and stuff in the backgrounds. The Poke Store stuff here. You can see, which that looks like almost like a little lunchbox thing. Snacks, I'm pretty sure. Little boxes. I'll be honest, I didn't look super close at some of these. So I mean, it it's up for interpretation if I know what these are or not. So I mean, conductor. Oh. Yeah, and then here's a picture of the statue they had of the conductor Pikachu here. And then there's also, again, another one for the Poketopia or whatever, the Ditto Animal Crossing type game. And then with Tokyo Pokemon Store. Don't think there's anything else in really the background. I almost like got this timing pretty well down because it's getting close to 3 right now and we're getting closer to the end of this. But yeah, another Pokemon Tokyo thing. And then now we are getting at Tokyo Tower, which I'll be honest, don't have a ton of pictures of Tokyo Tower from Tokyo Tower because it's just looking at city. And I mean, there wasn't really like I wish we could have gone to Tokyo Tower at night, okay? That was my main thing. If we could have gone to Tokyo Tower at night, seeing all the sparkling lights of Tokyo, it would have been very nice. But we had to go like in the kind of evening, like early morning, evening. But it was alright. But yeah, here's a picture of Tokyo Tower from the ground where we're here. Here's right from underneath Tokyo Tower, looking up at it. And you can see, let me see if you can see it better. Yeah, let's look at this picture. So something I did not know ahead of time was that there is 2 viewing platforms on Tokyo Tower. So Tokyo Tower has a main floor here, the main platform, the main viewing platform, which is a lot bigger, allows for a lot more people, and it's also cheaper to go to. It was either 1,300 or 1,500 yen for the main platform. And then there is the top platform. So, top platform, it has a smaller area. It is also more expensive. It was like 3,500 yen, I think it was. So in like giving an example, okay. So the 1,500 yen, that's like $8 maybe, something like that to go up. Whereas this one here, if I would have paid for that ticket, it would have been comparable, actually more than I used to buy one of my anime figures from Akihabara. Because like one of the figures I bought was like $19 or whatever. This would have been a little bit more than that. Like it would have been 20, a little over $20, something like that, for that one. Then there was also the like the deluxe version, which I'm guessing you got to probably go to both floors, I'm guessing, which was even more. But we just went to the main platform here. My buddies didn't want to spend the extra to go up here, which understandable. Also, apparently everything over in Japan has to have a mascot. So I'm pretty sure this is the mascot for Tokyo Tower. You can see right here, 5 towers infield kind of thing. This is, I'm guessing, the collaboration kind of thing, or like the 5 towers each have their own mascot, I think. And you'll see all the other mascots later. I think all the mascots can be found at each tower. Um, I'm pretty sure. Because there were multiple mascots, unless there's multiple mascots for each tower. I didn't really look into that very much. But there was a little cutout here of one of the little mascots, and then there was a little stamp thing that you could get a stamp for that mascot. Which, I don't think I mentioned it, but if you go to Japan, bring a stamp book. Or at least a empty journal book thing, something like that, with like no lines or anything, to use as a stamp book. Because I could not find a stamp book for the life of me. The temple and the shrines had stamp locations where you could get stamps for places. So I thought, oh, the gift shop will have a stamp book. They surely will. Like there's stamps here. They're gonna want people to buy their customized stamp book or whatever. I did not find one at the temple or the shrine. So I was not able to get my stamps. So next time I go, or I guess if I go again, I'm going to buy a stamp book ahead of time and collect all the stamps I can, because gotta catch them all. But yeah, there's a little stamp section here for this mascot. This here is the picture at the main platform of Tokyo Tower. So it is 150 meters. It says welcome, 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 welcome. They did have this fake sakura tree that was up here with all these candles around it on here. So I mean, it was all right. I guess I didn't get to see any sakura trees, so I mean, it was something. And then here are some pictures from Tokyo Tower, looking down on the city below. Like that looks to be a temple, probably. That's what it looks like, just by like the style of the buildings. And then all the skyscrapers, kind of like we were talking about before, that like like it kind of like a letdown that the skyscrapers look exactly the same basically everywhere you go, or at least there's not very much difference. Um, so there's all of those, and then here is the picture I was talking about, all the idols. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 idols, 5 towers. There's a picture of the towers behind them, which one of those is Tokyo Tower, one of them is the Sky Tree. And then I don't know what the other 3 towers are. I didn't really look up about that. But I guess this one is probably the one for Tokyo Tower. So yeah. And here is a model of Tokyo Tower that was in the gift shop. And then, if you look over here, there is another one of the idols from, I guess, one of the other towers that you can get here. Which I'm kind of surprised they put all of them at one tower. I would expect them to put one at each tower instead of all of them at all towers. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm not the marketing for this. Five idols, five towers, five guys, burgers and fries. Exactly, five guys. But instead of five guys, isn't there like there's one guy? I think that might be a guy. That might be a guy. All the rest are most definitely girls. But yeah. Oh, that's actually the same one. It's right there. Yeah. But yeah, another stamp location for that. Ooh, and here was my first bowl of ramen from Japan. My first and only bowl of ramen I ate in Japan. So, of course, it has that little bit there. I don't even know what that's called. This is a pork, like it has pork in it. This is like a pork bowl ramen or something like that. So there's pork underneath there. There's an egg there, which, oh my gosh, that egg was great. Okay, it was nice. It was creamy. You could cut it easily with chopsticks. There's a piece of, I think that's seaweed right there. And then there was a little bit of green onion and stuff in there. And then, of course, the noodles. And then it wasn't a bowl of ramen if you didn't have a beer. So I had a dry acai beer. So it was pretty dang good. Okay, I have to be honest. And I loved that you didn't have to actually talk with anyone. Basically, all we did was we walked in, and at the very entrance, there was a computer or a screen, or like an ordering screen. And you just went on the screen and you typed in what you wanted. Like it had pictures of all the food, like if you wanted extra egg or extra pork, or like you wanted a large size or a small or anything like that. And you type that in. They asked if you wanted a drink like a beer or something like that. You put that in, and then it gives you this ticket here. And that ticket you just lay down right next to you while you sit down, and they come by and they'll take the ticket. They'll make your food, bring it out to you. Done. You really wouldn't have to talk with anyone if you didn't want to. Which we were a little worried about. Like we didn't really know what to do. So like we got our thing, we got the tickets, and I went up to the waitress and I'm like, "Do I give this to you?" And she just like waved her hand no, and she was like just sit down, and then she took my ticket, and then I didn't have to talk with her again. So, but yeah, it was very good ramen. I feel like the noodles were a little bit different than what I'm used to. I feel like they were made from like either a different flour or something like that. So I mean, the noodles themselves, I don't know if they were the best noodles I've had, but like altogether the ramen, it was the best ramen bowl I've had. Cuz like the pork was really really good. It was like falling apart. Like I didn't have to like chew at all. It just kind of fell apart in my mouth. The egg, like I said, easy to cut apart with a chopstick. Nice and like it like tasted creamy. And I'm not a big green onion fan, but I mean the green onions were all right too. Like I ate some that kind of got in with the noodles, but it was good. It was a really good thing of ramen. And the trip would not be complete if I did not go by a Mr. Donut. One of the Hololive girls, like Mokoko and Fuawa, they love Mr. Donut, and then also quite a few of the other ones like love Mr. Donut because they have donuts that they call it's called a pawn ring or whatever. It's like a donut that kind of looks I don't know. I don't know how what's like a pawn ring. If you know want to know what it looks like, you could probably look at a picture of it. Uh yes, I ate the donut. I ate the donut. But yeah, it was very good. I just had like a regular glazed pawn ring donut. I mean, nothing spectacular or something like that. It was a donut shop. It was pretty good. I'll be honest. I don't think it was the best donut I ever had, but I mean like I had to at least go by and try a Mr. Donut. So I mean, it was good. Oh, we're to the souvenirs, okay? We're to the souvenirs. So, since I waited to the last day to buy souvenirs, I had to go by Akihabara and get some figurines. Like, what is a trip to Japan if you don't grab some anime figurines, okay? So, the first one I decided to end up getting was this Yujiro Hanma figure right over here. So, Yujiro Hanma is from the series Baki. He is the father of the main character, and he is also called the Ogre. I didn't get a picture of the back of him, but his back muscles, look like a face of an ogre. That's the reason why he's called the Ogre, and he's supposed to be the strongest man in the world in that series. And like the pose he has is so like intimidating. It's so like powerful. Like I feel like you have to almost watch the series. Also, his like hair is floating, with like power and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty cool. And this is actually a kind of a heavy figurine. I got it for 3,000 yen, which is about $19, like a little bit under 19. So not bad. I would have easily had to pay triple that for it here in the States, and that's not even counting shipping. Like this is about like a $50-$60 figure without shipping. So I mean, I got that for a bargain over there. Like I had to go to Japan to get it, but like if you're going to buy a figurine and you plan to go to Japan, just wait till you go to Japan to buy them. So yeah, I got this Yujiro Hanma figurine, pretty beefy figure, kind of heavy. And then I got this Dark Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh figurine. Whenever I was younger, I got a Dark Magician Girl card. Like whenever I was like, might have been like 8 to 10 or something like that. But I got her card and instantly fell in love. So I had to get a Dark Magician Girl figure. I saw it. It was like 2,500 yen. That was like 15, $16, something like that, somewhere around there. And it did not come with a box. It just came in a bag. So I mean, this one came with a box. So I'm guessing the 500 was because it was still boxed, but still pretty good. I was a little afraid about bringing her home because I was bringing her in a backpack, and I was afraid that she might get bent or something like that. But she came out pretty well. Yujiro was in a box. I did not worry about him. Also, being the strongest man, he can take it. So yeah, those were the figures I got. Altogether, that would have been 5,500 yen. Not bad. Less than $50. That is still less than the price of two figures over here in the States. Then, like I said before, I did get one of these Tokyo Conductor, like from Tokyo Station, Pikachus. Then I also got a Manaphy plush because Manaphy is super cute. I wanted to get a Celebi plush, but they were out of Celebi plushies. My little green onion child. So Manaphy was my second choice, but still good. So I got those. I got my Fauna plushie from the official Hololive store in Tokyo Station. So like this one, and then also both of these for Tokyo Station, and this one was from Akihabara. These two. But yeah, I got my Fauna plushie. Fauna is super awesome. I'm sad that she left Hololive, but I'm glad she's still doing VTubing. So yeah, I wanted to buy one of these. Hey, Winky Face, bro, I'm going to Japan in 2 weeks. Nice! I just got back. I literally got back yesterday from Japan. So, I mean, it was a fun trip, okay? So, like, I would recommend, like, at least, like, kind of piecing through this video to kind of look at, like, what the places I went to see if you'd, like, want to go there. Because, like, the Tokyo National Museum and the Museum of Natural Science were really good. If you go to Inari over near Kyoto, go to the Inari Shrine over there on Mount Inari. It was an excellent experience. And there's tons and tons of temples and shrines everywhere. So, I mean, there's plenty of stuff to do. I hope you have a good trip. I'm just getting back now, but I wish I was still there, and I wish I had another trip planned already. So, yeah, I hope your trip goes good. But, yeah, I got my Fauna plushie from the official Hololive store in Tokyo Station. I was happy that she was still there. I'd been looking for one of these for a while, and if I bought it online, I would have been paying like bucos of bucks, man. Like I'd have been paying a lot of money for just shipping and then also buying one of these. So it was much cheaper to go to Japan and buy it. I'm waiting on my rail pass to come in. I plan on taking the Shinkansen all the way down to Kugashima. Gonna be fantastic. Ooh, the Shinkansen is a nice ride, okay? It's a very nice ride, and I would recommend getting a bento box from the stores on the train platform, or at least the station, before you get on the Shinkansen if you are hungry. They're a little like lukewarm. I could not find any like anywhere to heat them up, but they're still good lukewarm. I ended up getting a chicken one. It had like chicken and rice and stuff like that, and then I also got a beef rib one with rice. Those were both pretty good. But yeah, I just ended up going to Kyoto and Tokyo. I was going to go to Osaka, but I told them that my plane got delayed by 1 day, so we had to cut out Osaka. Osaka. I'm very worried about allergies. I'm allergic to poultry and fish. Ooh, that sucks. That sucks. I feel like fish, seafood is one of those things that's really good over in Japan. And poultry, I mean, like, is a nice secondary kind of thing. But I'm like, as long as you're good with pork, you can still eat pork ramen. Pork ramen's pretty good. That's what I had. I stayed 2 weeks, and I'm staying in Tokyo for the first week and then traveling the next. You can easily spend a week in Tokyo and still never see everything. Like it was really like I could have spent my whole week in Tokyo and been completely fine without going to Kyoto, but I wanted to see a little bit more. So then we have all of my other little souvenirs. So we have this keychain here from the Tokyo Museum of Nature and Science, another keychain from the Tokyo Tower. I have this Dio keychain with a stone mask from the JoJo store over in Shibuya. I got some nail clippers that I heard that Japanese nail clippers were really good. So I got a Ponyo pin. I got another keychain that is from the castle we went to. I got a. This is technically a lock, but there wasn't really any good like keychains I liked from the Pokemon store, so I just got this and considered it like a keychain. I got this little Torii Gate keychain from the Inari Shrine. I got some chopsticks also from the same museum, the Nature and Science. It has a T Rex at the top. So, like, maybe not the most adult chopsticks, but I like it. And then we have all these little capsule machine things I got because oh, that's one thing. Okay, Winky Face. If you're gonna get anything from the capsule gotcha machines or whatever, make sure you have coins. Okay, make sure you have a ton of 100 yen coins, because the capsules are usually somewhere between 200 to 500 yen a turn. So I mean, probably keep a little coin purse with you that has 100 yen coins in it. That would be like a very good recommendation. But yeah, if we're going to look on here, plan on buying a coin purse. Oh, I had a like, if you don't buy a coin purse before, there are some capsule machines that sell coin purses. One of my friends at Kyoto Station, there was a capsule machine there that had a Shinkansen on the side of a coin purse that he ended up getting. But yeah, I ended up getting a beetle out of the capsule machine. It actually came in pieces that I had to build. This is a taco or an octopus. It's a pencil holder or a pen holder. This is a captured monster from Monster Hunter. I don't really remember which monster, but it's from Monster Hunter Wilds. This is the Torii Gate keychain thing from Kyoto. This right here, this little cute thing. I got this from the Museum of Nature and Science too. It's a little gecko or lizard that has like a moth in its mouth. And this little loop here, you can stick on a water bottle, okay? So you can have it on your water bottle to look like a lizard is climbing up your water bottle. It's kind of cute. Then I have this TNT one. It has the same thing you could put on like a water bottle or something like that. This is from, of course, a Minecraft gotcha machine. This is Enkidu from Fate Strange Fake. I got it from another one. This is I forgot her name. Pink-haired chick from Don to Don. Pink-haired chick from Don to Don. I got her. I got Himmel from Frieren Beyond Journey's End. This is another thing from the Museum of Nature and Science. This is a fossil. It's the same type as that. Then also, I got this bag here, which looks like a pencil bag that I'm pretty sure this is in French. I got this to keep all of my gotcha stuff in, like all of my little gotcha stuff. So I bought kind of because it's cute, and then also for a use. And that came rolled up in one of the gotcha containers. Did you go to the sumo or sword museums? My hotel is right next to them. We talked about going to a sumo match at one point. But I don't think they're going on at this time of year, or if they are, they were like pretty expensive. Because I think they were like $65 a ticket when we looked at them. So my friend was like, "Oh, we don't have to do that." So we did not go to a sumo thing, and at the Tokyo National Museum, they had a fairly good collection of swords. So I mean, I didn't go to a specifically sword museum, but the Tokyo National Museum over in Ueno Park has a fairly good sword collection. But yeah, there's that. Oh, is that it? Are we finally through? Yes, that would be all the pictures that I had ready for this, and I'm like, we're already 15 minutes past time. Notes taken? Exactly, notes taken. But yeah, Wikiface, I would recommend, like, also, I would like for you to watch the video, but also I have plenty of pictures of different temples, shrines, different locations, and I have said where they are and stuff like that. I also have some food recommendations too on here. So I mean, if you would like to, you can go ahead and go back through and watch the rest of this video and get you some ideas. I hope you have a good time in Tokyo. There are some little things that I noticed about like being in like Japan, like escalators, okay? Escalators always stay on the left-hand side of the escalator because left-hand side it's for people that are going to wait for the escalator to get to the top. The right-hand side is for people that are going to walk up the escalator to get up faster. So I mean that's one little note thing. I would not worry too much about walking on a certain side of the street, or like a certain side of the sidewalk, because the sidewalks are pretty big there, mostly, and it's kind of a free for all. It's not like everyone walks on the left hand side of the sidewalk. It's they walk where they can, and try not to go on the trains or subways whenever it is like a busy peak time because like especially times that people are getting off work or going to work, if you get on the trains at that point, you are going to get squished because they will pack into those trains like a can of sardines. Our last day when we were heading back from Tokyo Tower, we ended up getting on the subway because there wasn't a train that went straight to Tokyo Tower. There's a subway, and we got on the subway and it was already kind of packed, but then a whole group of people came through and we got crushed in that subway. Like that subway car. Oh my gosh. That was the only time it was that bad, but it was like literally like you were touching the next person to you and the next person next to you and like everyone was touching, and luckily it was not the middle of summer. I plan to walk a lot. Well, you can walk a lot, like, but you'll have to take a train station to get to, like, if you want to go to Shinjuku or Shibuya, or you want to go to Ueno Park, or what are some other places? Those are some of the big places. Ikebukuro, if you want to go by that Pokemon Center that's there. So, I mean, you're going to take trains, unless you're going to walk like 10, 12 miles a day or something like that. Yeah, I'd like to avoid the sardine trains. Like I said, as long as you don't go at peak times, like I would look up ahead of time, like what time people usually get off work or start going to work, like when does work start. And I would try to make sure you are not on the trains at that time. Either wait till after that time, like wait 30 minutes or something like that, or go earlier than then. That'd probably be the best thing. So, like, don't worry about it. If you do not know a lot of Japanese, the people there either know a little bit enough to get by, or they'll have something they can point at, or they'll point in like what direction, or point at what they want you to do. Like there was a lot of people that had like a little printout that was laminated that they would pull out when a foreigner came, and it's like they would just point. It's like, do you want a bag? And it's like, what bag do you want? And they have pictures of the bags, or do you want a receipt or something like that? And like it would just have like printouts laminated. And then also the train stations, they have signs everywhere. Like sometimes, like Tokyo Station in particular has signs on the floor, above you, on the walls. There's signs everywhere, and it's usually in Japanese and in English. Shibuya is about 7 to 8 kilometers from my hotel. Can definitely walk there. Akihabara is close as well. I can take a whole day for a walk. Been doing a lot of map pathing. I plan on limiting my own printout for my allergies. That's a good idea too, especially since the poultry and fish allergies. But yeah, those are some of like the small things that like I can think of. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in particular. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. About the only thing I want to mention is whenever you go on the bullet train, even though you have the JR pass, you have to also order or like go to one of the kiosks to also print off a bullet train pass. And whenever you go through the gate to the Shinkansen, you have to put both the tickets in the machine at the same time. So you'll have a Shinkansen ticket and then your JR Pass ticket, and you'll put them through the gate ticket collector at the same time when you go through the gate. That's something we didn't know about, and there was a lot of people, a lot of foreigners like us, that would put one in, like the bullet train ticket, and then they'd try to walk through, and it would stop them. So make sure to put both your tickets through at the same time, and then you don't have to worry about that. Um, and then also don't worry that whenever you get off the like Shinkansen and go through the exit gate, it'll take the ticket. Like it won't give back the Shinkansen ticket, but it'll give back your JR pass. That might help you out a little bit. Oh, thank you. Yeah. There's a picture on the gate that does show it, but if you're not looking for it, you can easily overlook it. Um, yeah, I would definitely recommend walking it, like using the trains as much as you can, because if not, you're going to be walking a lot and you're going to be wasting a lot of time. So, I mean, I would, like, even though you said you are good with walking and stuff like that, even if you are good, I would hate for you to waste a lot of time walking somewhere when you could easily like turn an hour walk into a 10-12 minute train ride, something like that. But it would save you money. It would save you a little bit of money if you didn't have to use the subway. So, time enjoyed is not the time wasted. That's true. If you do enjoy walking, that is fully up to you. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to talk about now. I just wanted to talk about my trip a little bit and like explain to you like what I've been doing all this time this week. And I'm now not afraid of planes really, since I really did not have a bad experience on planes. Now I just have to try to get my family to also be alright with planes, and then maybe I can get to them to either go on a trip to Japan or maybe Italy or even somewhere else in the world. So plane rides are perfectly fine for me now. It was actually maybe not the best enjoyable experience, but it was all right. But yeah, I should probably go ahead and get off now because it is getting late, later than the time I usually stream. And also, I had to go back to work tomorrow after being off a week in Japan and also having my time change and everything like that. So hopefully, I am perfectly fine for work tomorrow. Or I guess today. Thanks for the information. Yeah, like I said, I would recommend going back through and like looking at some of the pictures I have, even if you just skim through the stream. That'd probably be help you out a little bit because I do have a lot of pictures on there of different places, and it could help you out a little bit or give you an idea of some other stuff you want to do. So thank you for stopping by, Winky Face. Thank you, Mr. Cornell. Thank you, So Unique. I work night shifts, so time change will actually help me by being up during the day. Ooh, that's good then. There you go. I think Cowboy is here. Legendary Cowboy, yep. Um, so Unique, Mr. Cornell. That might have been everyone. Then there's also a ton of lurkers, which I do appreciate you stopping by too as well, as always. So thank guys, thank oh sorry guys, thank you for stopping by and like listening to me talk about my trip. I hope you enjoyed some of the pictures. I know on the Discord, if you haven't joined, there is a Discord in the description, a link to it. I do have all the pictures on there if you want to look at the Japan trip like channel. And I'm glad you guys all enjoyed that. Thank you for talking with me and stuff like that. Streaming will be as normal, continuing on until I'm gone in I think it's a couple weeks. I'm gonna be gone again for a week. But we will be playing Alan Wake 2 again tomorrow since we finished up Resident Evil 9, and we'll just continue on with Alan Wake 2. So thank you all for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all later. So bye bye.